There's a new force of nature at hand, stirring all over the world. They are the young people whom, frankly, we have failed, who are angry, who are organized, who are capable of making a difference. They are a moral army. And the most important thing that we can do for them is to get the hell out of their way.
The youth of today, like Nelson Mandela, who is now hailed as an icon of peace, must be ready to be called terrorists. We must be ready to be called criminals. We must be ready to be jailed for crimes we did not commit. We must be ready to be character assassinated like Ida Mtwana, Robert Sobukwe, Ungo Positilo, Steve Biko, Winnie Mandela, and Julius Malema.
We demand that the people who have been arrested and abducted be released unconditionally as a sign of goodwill. We demand that there be heads rolling in the police department because there are people who gave those orders. We demand as young people that you respect our lives, that you stop killing us. One life was one too many. There are people who will never walk again, and that's why we walk on the streets. And we demand that you follow this constitution, because all sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya and shall be exercised only in accordance to this constitution. And remember that while you can kill a revolutionary, you cannot kill the revolution.
Why are you arresting me? Why? Give me a reason. I protest because you're killing us.
Who is killing you?
You police. You're killing us in our communities. Poor communities. Why do you want to arrest me?
Yes.
People's power! People's power! People's power! When we lose our fear, no more killings! No more killings!
We don't have a country here. We are useless. If it was for us, I would say, let's destroy this country. Watch the bomoka yote. But for our children and grandchildren. And that's why I support them. Let them teach us a lesson. Because we are jokers.
We've been telling you. Sisi vile vile sio wote ambao wanataka ugomvi kwa sababu ya ugomvi.
Niwaambia nyinyi ni wajinga mkimfuata Ruto. Mkadhani tunawadanganya.
Jeti ya Ruto. Hii maisha ya Ruto ni stress na ni stress.
Mungu, wewe umetukosea.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for making time to join us. This is Sound Candid Talk Open Forum Political Discussion Show, the show that gives you an opportunity to air what you feel and think about the latest development on our political front. Well, our country is in trouble. The more things change, the more things remain the same. Businessman and Safina Party leader Jimmy Wanjigi is arrested in unclear circumstances because as at now there was a court order barring the police from arresting him or detaining him. And with that order still in force, he was asked to present himself to the DCI while he was doing that patriotic move. He got arrested and now he's arraigned, is detained at Kamkunji police station. The nation is left wondering whether the rule of law is still on or not. The old folks are asking questions whether the Moi era is back and we are all back in the dark days. I invite your opinion on the same as I salute each one of you as you join from wherever you are. Let's do our patriotic responsibility. Begin by sharing the video with as many as you can. Invite many to join and be part of the great conversation. I salute all of you joining on TikTok, joining on Facebook, as well as YouTube. I encourage you to take charge of whatever platform you are following us on and share widely so that many Kenyans can tune in and be part of the great conversation. There is also an altercation at the Azimio leadership. The ODM gives a presser today, citing some other constituent parties that are pushing an agenda that seems to ouster ODM from the Azimio leadership. And all of that is geared towards taking over the control of parliament in terms of control that is determined by the strength of the political party. So they claim that by ODM letting 5 or 4 of their members to be nominated and ratified as cabinet secretaries, it means ODM is working with the UDA government and therefore they ought not to be leading the minority party. I don't know what is your take on the same. I invite your input even as we start the conversation. And then, of course, the counties are in trouble. 3 months, no disbursement of money from the central government to keep those counties functioning. And so things are falling apart for the counties because the funding from the central government is failed. This and more is coming your way. We need Kenyans to tell their story in their own words, in their own way. Welcome on board. Let's move in forcefully and strong. Apologies, yesterday we couldn't come on. I was too exhausted to run the show. And so I reached out to my colleagues and everyone seems to have been held up. And therefore, we had just to forget it. But thank you for holding up for us and, of course, continuing to follow us. We trust that by God's grace, we'll be able to keep the conversation going and do what we must do. And that is keep the conversation in the right perspective, remain authentic, remain viable, and then, of course, help in framing the future of this country by standing for what is just, what is right, and what is accurate. I greet everyone. Thank you so much. Green, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. I say Ruto, the worst coward using rogue officers to silence truth. You have been exposed. Thank you, Green, for that. Dahi Abdi, welcome to the show. MNA, salams to you. Thank you so much. Malkio Ogola, karibu kwa show. Esther Stoll, good evening to you. Welcome to the show. Lydia Karimba, karibu kwa show. Favor, karibu kwa show. Ubuntu, good evening to you. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Please, let's share widely. Let's share widely all the platforms so that we can get more people to join. I believe our conversation is rich enough to help shape the future of this country by letting Kenyans say what they feel and think about the whole situation. 31 people, Sound Candy Talk, 18 people, Sound Candy Talk Live. Facebook, nobody yet. Please, let's be active. And then, of course, TikTok, let's share the live. Share the live, please, with many people. Like the video, tap the screen. Let's all gang up. Let's make a difference. I believe this is where we will, have to engage and then, of course, come to what should be done. Well, we want to discuss this soundly and clearly on the issue at hand right now. Are court orders any viable in this country? Is it that the Ruto administration defying court orders and doing what they want and wish is the order of the day? Are we back in the Moi era where detention without trial are back and, of course, intimidating dissenting voices? Is that how we're going to be governed as a country? We need to get answers to those questions. And so I invite you. The link to use to get in the studio is now in the comment section. Click on it, allows Timia to configure for you the camera as well as the audio. Then you come in the studio and we will get talking. Appreciate every one of you. Please, let's be active, be active, be active. Facebook guys are not yet here. Tafadhali watu wa Facebook, karibu, naona mmoja ameingia. Karibu, tafadhali share widely. Ukitupata kwa Facebook, share widely so that more people join. Sound Candy Talk Live, 19 people stuck there. Let's share, let's share, let's share. Bring in more people and remind people we are back. There are those who think we have been blocked. We are still here, and we pray that we'll stick here until the whole thing is done rightly. TikTok, our likes must be 3,000 and above. So usingoje dakika ya mwisho. Like video. Tunapoanza kwa pamoja, tunazungumzia kuhusu Jimmy Wanjigi anashikwa kinyume na sheria, alafu ODM inasema hakuna kubanduka, na wale ambao wanataka ibanduke kutoka kwa Azimio, basi waseme ukweli ni kipi kinacho wakera, kwa sababu kulingana na mikataba iliyoko, kuna mkataba kati ya vyama vyote ambavyo viko kwa Azimio, na kuna mkataba katikati ya ODM na Kenya Kwanza, ama mkataba katikati ya ODM na UDA. So ni kipi hiki ambacho kinasumbua hawa ambao ni wana vyama tofauti katika Azimio? Na mbona wanataka kujikusanya pamoja kufukuza ODM? Interesting times. And then, of course, the financial crunch at the county level, you will also need to look at it. So tafadhali tumakinike tunapoanza mambo haya yote. I think let's start at Kamkunji, then we'll come to other stories later. Ingia studio, tumia your link. Ingia studio tukajadili.
Politician and businessman Jimmy Wanjigi will spend the night in police custody. Wanjigi is being held at Kamukunji police station after being detained for allegedly being in possession of firearms without a certificate. The family and lawyers of the businessman are still camping at the Kamukunji police station where Jimmy Wanjigi is being held. And we're now joined live from there by Willie Lusige. Good evening, Willie. What is the latest? What is happening at the Kamukunji police station as regards the arrest of Jimmy Wanjigi?
Lilian and our viewers, definitely businessman Jimmy Wanjigi is still being detained here at the Kamukunji police station, which is just a few meters behind me. Remember, he was apprehended during today's, when he attended summons by the regional investigating officer at Nairobi town area police station to record or to give more information about the alleged tear gas canisters and even explosives that were found in a vehicle outside his gate. So when he attended that summon, that's when he was apprehended, and later he was brought here at Kamukunji police station where he's still being detained, and his family is also still camping here waiting to see what will happen next, because Jimmy had actually a court order barring the police from detaining him, and apart from that also holding him in custody. What has happened briefly before this is only a number of political leaders led by Eugene Wamalwa and Kalonzo Musyoka who came here to see him and also termed the process by which the police have arrested him and detained him as against the law because he has a court order. But briefly, I want to speak to his lawyer, who is Willis, just to tell us within 30 seconds, you had a court order barring the arrest of Jimmy Wanjigi, but apart from that, also we have seen that the police are still holding him in custody. What next?
You know, as it is, the police here are ignoring the order issued by the High Court, stopping the arrest or continued detention of Jimmy Wanjigi. If they have an issue with him, they meet in court. They don't want to do that. So now we are hearing they're trying to plant all manner of things on Mr. Wanjigi, including trying to call officers from ATPU. They want to now treat Mr. Wanjigi as a terrorist, and they want to charge him for terrorism-related offenses. Mara, they are saying that they want to charge him for not having a firearm certificate when he had gone to court and the court had actually reinstated his firearm certificate when the Firearms License Board previously attempted to nullify that license. All this is political witch hunt. William Ruto is using the police to pursue a political agenda. Jimmy Wanjigi has been educating the public on our economy and the issue of public debt. He will not stop. You can take him to any court you want. You can decide to do whatever you want to do to him. But his voice to say the problem of this country is the economy, and William Ruto is unable to deal with economic problems in this country, will not stop. He will keep saying it. And that is the ultimate truth. No amount of persecution, no amount of intimidation, no amount of harassment, no amount of ignoring court orders will make Mr. Wanjigi to stop from speaking his truth, which is the truth of the pain that all Kenyans are feeling in their homes at the moment. If they detain him here tonight, they'll take him to court. Which court do they want to take him to? When the same courts have issued an order for him not to be arrested or not to be detained, they've done exactly the opposite. And we are going to move to court for contempt of court orders against the acting IG and in contravention of the orders issued by the court. And no proceedings should take place before the issue of contempt by these officers is dealt with. Let us all agree that we are operating within the rule of law, or it is politics. If it is politics, Jimmy Wanjigi has invited William Ruto. Let's meet on the field. We don't need to meet in the police station. Let's meet on the field. Let's argue issues. Let's debate. Let's talk about the issues affecting Kenyans. Thank you.
Thank you. That is Willis, one of the lawyers to Jimmy Wanjigi, the businessman who, pardon me, is still being held here and detained at Kamkunji police station. All eyes are set to see tomorrow maybe the charges that will be leveled against him, if indeed he'll be taken to court. Lillian.
Many thanks for that. That is Willie Lusige talking to the lawyer of businessman Jimmy Wanjigi, who is currently being detained at the Kamukunji police station. This following his arrest earlier today. He is being detained for allegedly being in possession of firearms without a certificate. The lawyers of Jimmy Wanjigi there decrying this arrest, saying that it came despite there being a court order barring his arrest. Willis will be staying with that story. Willie Lusige will be staying with that story. It is a developing story. We will give you details on the story as and when we get them.
Okay, I heard you. Let's see how.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. That is how the country is and operating. And we're here to fix or put perspective on the same. So tafadhali tuendelee kukaribishana, namba watazamaji ipande na tumakinike kwa pamoja. Nashukuru Mwadia shafika. Hali vipi leo?
Poa Penat.
Karibu. Tuwaambie hii mambo inaendaje?
Yes, this is the government. Our Eshimu rule of law. Walianza 2017 Penat. Kina Miguna and so many others. Kushika Jimmy Wanjigi, I think wanajaribu kutisha watu Penat. Na lawyer amesema alikuwa na certificate, anaenda kotini. But hii serikali ni ile tu. Wanajaribu kutisha wananchi. Na by the way, Penat, kama walikuwa wameishu kwanza, walimpatia hiyo mapunduki ama nini imefanya wakachukua? Kwa sababu Penat, najua ukipatiwa hiyo silaha alafu utumie vibaya, that is the time wana revoke ama wanakunyang'anya. Na kusema Jimmy Wanjigi alikuwa na silaha nje ya nyumba yake na ni kwa gari. Ukipatiwa silaha Penat ya kukuchunga, inakuchunga within the compound ama inakuchunga outside your compound? Kwa sababu then hiyo ni moja. Ukiwa na silaha Penat, unaweka ndani ya nyumba ama yes, you can position anywhere in your compound yenye hakuna mtu ata access. So hii ni kumaanisha ni wale wanakuja wana search, wanakuwekea silaha aidha kwa nyumba ama kwa compound, ndio wakuja waseme umekuwa nazo. So for me that is inhuman. Na hii watu Penat waheshimu. And if we go back 2017, hii ni serikali haikubaliani na constitution. Wanaongea kuhusu constitution kama wamekutwa. After that wanatupia ndani, wanatupa huko bedroom. So actually that is wrong. Nikikuja mambo ya ODM, I see the chairperson Gladys Wanga na staff wanaongea kuhusu mambo ya ODM, of which a lot of people don't want the truth, na watu wengi wataki kusikia, but it is true to be told. Sasa nashangaa Penat, huko na nyumba yako umechenga na ni nyumba kubwa Penat, enough for everybody, and then uite manduku sako uambie okay, hii nyumba nimechenga ni kubwa, inaweza kututosha sisi wote. And then Penat over certain unaambiwa sasa hii nyumba si yako, ondoka. So by the way, I had said sometime, apart from Wiper and Penat, I wanted to know, in opposition, which party has a lot of members of parliament, councillors, governors? I think it is ODM. So how can you tell the house we kick you out? Which out? Hiyo nyumba. Na mimi niliona wakati wote walikuwa kwa Azimio walikuwa naenda Orange House. Na mimi nasikia hata members of parliament ya chama ingine, Jubilee for example, Sabina Cheke na alikuwa naitwa nani ule what is
Kega, Kanini
Kega. Walienda na all elected members of parliament. Wakaruka wakaenda serikali. Ikapati secretary general anaitwa Kioni. Na wakati alikuwa amefurushwa hata kwa ofisi, ni ODM ama baba na kina Kaujo walienda waka safeguard. Na wakati walienda kwa Trupino Penat, Trupino Batu imewachia Sabina Cheke. Ndiye sababu hata Mwenje hajawahi weza kuwa is it minority in the parliament ya Jubilee, iko na Sabina Cheke. Jeremia Kioni amekuwa akihangaika. So wakati anasimama, ndiye nilisema I wonder with these people, you come with nothing and then you want a big share. Na ukinyimwa, tunarudi ile ya Watangula wakati alikuwa leader of minority in the parliament and he had said something. Alisema nini Penat? Wakati
it's going to be messy.
Alisema things will not be the same. Yes. Na anasema hivyo Penat, and he's just alone. Wenye wamekupatia kura ni hiyo watu ya ODM. I think by the way, ODM imekuwa waaminifu ama wanaheshima na wale wanaenda kuungana na hawa. lakini wale wanaungana nao wanakuwa wasaliti. And then the ball go back to ODM. Gladys Wanga amesema vizuri. Baba haitachi chochote. ODM iko intact. Na anasema walikubaliana watu waine kuondoka, waende wasaidiane na hiyo serikali wameamua. But ODM iko intact na wanafanya kazi yao. In 2027 itategemea which side ODM Bernard wata support. But unakuwa na uchungu na pipi na watoto si yako, and you want to force them. Ati hii watoto ni yangu tu, nimekuja hiyo nyumba. Bernard haikwangi hivyo. Hata wakikuita baba, wewe si baba yao. At least they know they have a father. So Kenya, a lot of people are chokers. And that is why unaona mambo haiendi vizuri Bernard. Because we don't want to say the truth. ODM imefanya makosa gani? Na Azimio hata ikiisha, inaisha. Waende, kama ODM imeenda kwa serikali ama imefanya chenye imefanya, nani anauliza hiyo watu walalamike? You build your house, you continue Bernard. Lakini ukiona inasemekana watu wanalia, yani mtoto analia, when you are the crying baby every time. Kalonzo ako na wachumbe, ana heshima yake, anastahili. Wacha hata yeye apebe inaitwa nini? Equals. Wacha abebe equals yenye hawana hata MP moja. Wacha hata yeye Kalonzo abebe hiyo msiko, asikie vile iko Bernard. Wacha na baba ametoa hiyo koti amefalisha Kalonzo. Sijui kama inatosha Kalonzo, sijui kama ni kidogo, sijui kama inaanguka kwa mapeka. Let him carry that. Wacha yeye asunguke na kina Jeremia Kioni waende na Sabina Chege na members of parliament. That is why nilikuwa nasema Bernard, kwa nini mara ya kwanza tulikuwa na more members of parliament? Wakati walifika parliament waliruka wakasupport Ruto. Azimio ikakuwa na less. Tukakaa Jubilee ndio wakatoka wakaenda. Na nikauliza kwa nini tunakasirika kwa ODM na watu walienda kitambo. So kama na kwa sasa naona tutakasirika tu mpaka 2027. So watu wapange chama yao. Yeah, Mama Selina, I cannot be ODM. Niko na chama yangu. I'm not an ODM member, but I speak the truth. Chama yangu ni ya Kenya, na nikikosa kukua chama ya na Kenya, nani amesema kwanza Bernard, it is our individual responsibility kukua na msimamo. Msimamo yangu ni chama yangu. When we have or when we don't. Nilikuwa KANU. Nimekuwa chama mbili Bernard, si tatu. Sijaingia hata hiyo ODM. Wakati wakale walikuwa ODM nilikuwa na Kibaki. Wakati sahi wako mimi niko na Kenya. So and everybody knows that I'm na Kenya. Siokopangi kusema yes, na ikifika ile inafika. Martha Karua tumeondoka. Tulienda na leso yetu, tulienda tu bure hivyo. Tulienda jenga nyumba yetu Bernard. Sasa msitusumbue, sisi pia tunaenda kukaa kando, tutafute tena tutengeneze chama yetu, tupatilishe, tuweke urembo at least. Chusi tukataka kuungana na CNC, mnakuja mnatuaibisha tena. Sasa sijui siasa inaenda wapi Bernard. Eri ODM, baba akisema left, everybody left. Akisema right, everybody right. Tuheshimu hiyo. Tuheshimu parties wale wako strong. Kalonzo akiambia yao Ukambani tunyamaze, tusimame, wanasimama. Everybody else hata hiyo UDA. Yeah, wengine UDA kama ni yao watasimama, kama si yao utakuta UDA pia. Tukielekea next year unaona kina Palala wametumiliwa. So Bernard, chenye ningesema asante kwa kukuja hapa. kuna watu wengi sana wanakufuata. Kuna Wakenya wale wanataka kusikia maono ya watu vile inaenda, but kuna watu wengi wamekasirika, wanasema hasira ni hasara. So wakati tunakuwa na hasira inakuwa ni hasara, kwa sababu ile civic education tungepatia watu 5 10 wapike kura mahali mzuri 2027, tutakuwa tumerudi nyuma penalty. So kama mimi nimekasirika, nitakuwa kwa hii channel every day, at least ni save watu 2 ama 3. By 2027 wanajua mahali tuko. Lakini nikikasirika niende nikae kwa blanketi yangu ama nifanye shughuli yangu, 2027 nitarudi kulia, niseme kura iliipiwa, niseme sijui imefanyika nini, nianze kutusiana. Miaka inaenda 2032, Kenya cannot stop. Kenya inaendelea penalty. So kama niko na uchungu, nikuja hapa niongee, nipatilishe watu 3. But nikiwa na uchungu na nikae nyumbani, Sakayo ajali anaendelea kukaa juu ya miti. Kwa sababu nani atamtoa kama sisi wote tumesurrender penalty? So kama if we are serious, tukuja hapa na tukubaliane. Na mimi nashangaa sana wale watu wanatusi ODM. Kwanza wengine nasikia sasa hii wanataka kukua leader of opposition parliament. Nani atawapatia? They are less. ODM ikichukua mwisho tu Bernard, ndiye nimalize. ODM ikichukua hiyo viti yote kwa parliament today Bernard, hata ile walipatia marafiki, wakiamua sasa it is red card na wapaki na chama yao, watafanya nini? Thank you Bernard.
Sawa mami, thank you. That's a very good analysis and observation, and it is true because the minority leadership of the parliament is according to the strength of the party, and this strength of the party is not just strength of the party in terms of coalition. Okay, the Azimio became a minority when the people migrated to go to join Kenya Kwanza. So they reduced the number for them to become a minority. And then, of course, thereafter, they still shared the slots according to the way they agreed in terms of their campaign together to try and win the election. Now, what is happening here, in my understanding, ni sisi wa Kenya ni watu ajabu sana. Okay? Ni watu ajabu kwa sababu tunapenda kufuata, nafikiria, uvumi. Okay? Napenda kufuata uvumi na tutaki kufuata sheria. Si eti hatutaki kufuata sheria, tunashabikia kitu ambacho ni rumors na gossip, lakini hakuna substantiation in terms of provision of the law. And to me, the provision of the law is what counts, is not rumors. Kuna ile hali ambayo ODM wamesema hakuna agreement between them and Kenya Kwanza. Kama uko na hiyo agreement, toa. Okay? Ionyeshe kwamba tumekubaliana kwamba tutafanya kazi pamoja, tutapiga kura pamoja, kama vile ilikuwa handshake. Handshake had a written agreement and the 9 points and the project they were undertaking together. The handshake was a clear understanding of mutual working. Now, this one that is with Ruto, is Ruto wanted 4 people to work for him. They were donated, the 4 people. It was not ODM to work with me. I want Oparanya, I want Joho, I want Mbadi, I want Wandai. Those ones, okay, take them. Those are not ODM. Those were members, and I think still members of ODM, but they are not the party. The party belongs to the people, and the party has structures of operation. I don't know why Kenyans are so much hell-bent in forcing a narrative that has no backing. Hakuna sheria ambayo inazuia mtu kwenda kufanya kazi kwa serikali kama amechaguliwa kama CS. Ni yeye mwenyewe akubali ama akatae. Kama vile Wajakoya alipigiwa simu akubali akuwe minister wa internal security, akakataa, akachukua microphone akasema nimepigiwa simu na Ruto nikuwe minister wa nini, nimekataa. So hii maneno ambayo sisi tunabebana nayo ya kusema ODM imeingia kwa serikali, ODM imetubetray, ODM ni chama mbaya, na hiyo mambo yote ni uvumi tu ambao sisi tunapenda kuendesha na tunasaidia waongo, because that's what we are doing. And to me is very disappointing because we conveniently ignore the law, then enforce a narrative and want to preach that narrative until it becomes true. So hatuko tofauti na Ruto anayedanganya mpaka hiyo uongo inakuwa kama ukweli. So mimi kwangu, I still stand by what the officials of ODM have said until you produce for me the agreement between the two political parties, the dissolution. And even if that is the case, Kalonzo, Eugene, and Kioni cannot be leader of minority kwa parliament. Azimio ikisambaratika saa hii, party ambayo iko next, the one that's supposed to provide the minority leadership is still ODM. Okay? So wawe kwa serikali, wawe nje ya serikali, hao ndio wanaongoza hiyo sehemu. Kalonzo hana namba za kutosha, na si ati yako karibu. Okay? You cannot be fighting somebody with 86 members na wewe uko na 26. So I mean, ni nini tunabishania hapa? So it is not just ODM flexing the muscle, but I think we are being unfair as Kenyans to demand that now ODM should leave Azimio so that Azimio can put up a proper opposition. Hakuna. Sisi hata tuko kwa bunge and we are opposition. So what is that? So I think Kenyans tuache history ya kufuatana na uvumi na kupush narratives ambazo zina kichwa wala mkia. Let's substantiate things. I was talking to Wangira. Wangira, I'm expecting you to be the show. Wangira posted something on Facebook claiming that ODM is dying because it is is being pushed from Azimio. So I told him that ODM is not dying any soon, and those who wanted to die will attend their funeral. ODM is not dying any soon. And there is no crime that ODM has committed. I don't understand why we conveniently get the criminals to walk free and then sentence to death the people who have not committed crime. And you are comfortable about it. To me, it doesn't add up. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we engage, we really want us to be sound. Let's go to history. The National Accord, it was signed in 2008. Signed, taken to parliament, ratified, then it was implemented. That's how Grand Coalition was born. These things don't just work in the air, and they don't begin. In fact, look the way it is. It is the Kenya Kwanza who are pushing the narrative of handshake and pushing the narrative of Ruto ameenda kuchukua mzee. Okay, Ruto ameenda kuchukua mzee. But what about the rest of the country? Okay, what about the wherever or the official communication of ODM and its secretariat? And there are some of the political analysts on YouTube are also forcing things. Leo hii wameenda kutafuta picha ingine, picha ya nani wakafanya Photoshop, wakaweka Sifuna hapo, and Sifuna is bulging out of ODM. That's why he was not at the presser where Wanga was. I mean, tumekuwa wakora mpaka Mkenya mkora, hebu ukuje. Yani mpaka tunaenda kucraft Photoshop just to push a narrative of what we believe that does not exist. So hii propaganda ni ya nini? Hakuna haja ya propaganda. I have always said, kama alligator ametoka kwa maji, anaishi kwa maji, ametoka huko kwa maji akasema mama crocodile ni mgonjwa. Sisi ambao hatuishi ndani ya maji hatuwezi kupishana na yeye. So only the people who are within the structure of the leadership of ODM will come and tell us this is the current stand. Lakini ingine mnatulazimishia ni gossip tu, na sisi na gossip atuandamani. Mutanipiga tu mawe, lakini gossip no. We don't want the gossip, and there is no crime somebody going to work in government kama ameitwa na anaweza aende kufanya kazi, na akifanya kazi anafanyia yeye, mkewe na watoto wake. Hakuna CS anafanyianga kazi nini, anafanya kazi na mshahara yake inapewa county ama inapewa constituency ama inapewa familia, I mean jamii nzima za a tribe. Oparanya akifanya kazi anapelekea madamu wake ako nao kadhaa, okay, na watoto wengi, alafu hiyo pesa yote ni yeye anakula. Benefits ya hiyo ofisi yote ni Oparanya. Waluya hamko ndani, okay, ya muhesabiki, labda achinje ng'ombe awabie kujeni mkunyo supu, labda hiyo ndio mtakunywa. Lakini as far as mshahara wa CS is concerned, it is not a tribal thing. So why are we bitter and fighting in the pretext that we want to control who goes where and who does not come from where? To me, we are exercising powers we don't have. And without discouraging you, there is no need for that. There's no need for that. Na story ya uhasama tuachane nayo. We don't need to fight among ourselves, and we don't need to instigate communities to fight among themselves. There is no crime in going to work with government if you are appointed and you want to do. If there is a crime, munionyeshe where the crime is. Ni sheria gani imevunjwa? Ni nini kimeibiwa, nani, wapi? Okay. Aya, majibu na ngoja. Na huko kwa comments pia nataka hiyo majibu, munipatie majibu. Okay? What crime has been committed by who, and why will that result into a death of a political party? The political party that has been here longer than most of our political parties. I think only for the Kenya and the KANU are older than ODM. Okay? But ODM is still bigger than all of them. So sawa, karibuni. Wapi hao watu wa kuingia studio? Wangira mko wapi? Undumani ama mchapata notification? Tuingie studio tuongee kwa mapana, na muda ukiyoyoma sisi tunang'atuka kama ilivyo sheria. Thank you everybody. I think before we go back to Mama, let's get this video so that we get things rolling.
Let's shift focus to other matters playing out in the political space. The ODM party, through its new chairperson Gladys Wanga, has responded to calls for the removal of the ODM party and its leader Raila Odinga from the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition, insisting it will continue to play its minority role, and those who join government did so as individuals and not as representatives of the party. And as Ashley Mazuri reports, an executive meeting that was called for and was to be chaired by President Uhuru Kenyatta, retired President Uhuru Kenyatta rather, as the party's patron, to iron out their differences was aborted unceremoniously. And now they're back to the drawing board.
We are here as a party to express serious misgivings.
In what appears to be her first statement as ODM chairperson, Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga has slammed a section of Azimio leaders questioning Raila Odinga's commitment to the opposition. Addressing the press, a resolute Wanga said that the Orange Democratic Movement will not tolerate any attempts to pressure Raila into endorsing anyone for the leadership of Azimio, reiterating that there is no agreement between ODM and Kenya Kwanza.
These members have not joined the government as representatives of the party, but as individuals whom the president felt have the capacity to add value.
This statement follows calls from Azimio affiliate parties urging ODM to exit the coalition. The parties accused the Orange Party of undermining the principles of political alliances by aligning with a broad-based government.
But those who wish to join government, like our friends in ODM, we have said they are free to do so, but they should also do the honorable thing and exit the opposition coalition and join government.
Our partners are not acting in good faith. They're hiding behind the 4 gentlemen and 1 lady who joined government and using it to try and wrestle the leadership of the Houses of Parliament from ODM.
Wanga insists that ODM remains committed to playing its role as opposition and will not engage with those acting with ulterior motives. She added that in Parliament, leadership is determined by numbers.
As we speak, ODM has the highest numbers of MPs professing and committed to Azimio ideals and principles. Majority of the MPs from a number of other coalition parties long went to bed with the Kenya Kwanza in Parliament.
All this comes on a day that former President Uhuru Kenyatta was expected to chair an Azimio Council meeting.
The meeting that was to be convened to address coalition issues was overtaken by events and will therefore not be taking place. What that means is that then the parties will be left to make their own decisions, as ODM has, and may the chips fall where they may.
The fate of the Azimio La Umoja One Kenya coalition now lies with the member parties, with NARC Kenya already issuing notice to exit the coalition. Only time will tell if Azimio's center will hold amidst the widening cracks. Ashley Mazuri, KTN News.
Now, police are currently...
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from the horse's mouth. Things are not the way they look every time. And of course, we have all the divergent views. Hapa Mzengiga anasema this is an illegitimate government. I think Kenyans are not fools. Raila should be brought back to order. By who? Raila should follow the rules of Azimio party. Azimio is not Raila alone. Mzengige, mimi nataka tu niulize hii legitimate government aliyepeana mamlaka alikuwa Raila kwa legitimate government? Who handed the sword? Who handed the constitution? When did that take place? Was it still illegitimate? And if it was handed over the leadership, okay, by a legitimate president, okay, how does that now become a Raila problem? The people who did handing over the power should be held responsible for giving us an illegitimate government, not somebody donating 4 CSs to go and work in that particular government. You a legitimate government, bado ina control pesa, ina control safari, ina control majeshi, ina control police, ina control kila kitu. Lakini mnasema is illegitimate, na watu wanne wakienda kufanya huko kazi, ODM imekufa. Raila should be called to order. The person to be called to order here is Ruto. Huyo ndio mnalipa mshahara, huyo ndio mmeajiri, mkapatia state house, mkampatia magari, mkampatia jeshi na polisi. Huyo ndio mnapaswa kucontrol. Sio mtu ambaye ako kwa street anatafuta job AU. Huyo ndio mnataka kucall to order. Ai, nyinyi mnanitisha. Aya, mama. Na muingie studio.
Bernard, una call in order the general mwenyewe. Unajua Wakenya watakangi kusema ukweli Bernard. The truth is that without Raila nothing goes forward or backward. Ndio wakati ile watu walikuwa napika kelele, they knew, wanajua, they know what Raila can do and what cannot do. And also ODM. Gladys Wanga amesema peupe. Na now Uhuru Kenyatta yeye ndiye alikuwa anapeana sword. Kama alijua mambo ni ngumu angenyamaza. But he say serikali ni kubwa kumuliko. Naye Raila amesema serikali ni kubwa kumuliko. So now we have this leader of opposition sasa anajiita, but we cannot call them even until they went to parliament. Sababu sasa huko parliament mambo itachacha. unaenda kutoa ODM nyumba unatoa wenyewe. Yani like how can somebody come and kick you from your house, Bernard? I have never heard that. Hata wamama siku hizi ukilete bibi ya pili, mama anasema haingii kwangu. This is my house, tulichenga na wewe. Enda kama umeamua tengenezee mahali pake. If you have money. But if you don't have money, you cannot. So, hakuna mtu anakubali kufurushwa kwa nyumba yake. And where is the office, by the way? Office ya Azimio where? Mchengo hiyo iko wapi Bernard, so that people can visit? Today have even a place? Ama wanaomba? Wanaenda Wiper today, tomorrow wako kwa ODM. So Wiper itapaki Wiper, ODM inapaki hapa hili. So I want to know, Jeremia Kioni, hata yaka ingi, ilichukuliwa na Sabina Cheke na Kaika Keka hama netonani. So, hii watu ni kama Malala. Malala ametolewa na chama, anarudi analalamika. Where will you come back? Wenyewe wamechukua chama yao. Aita waende wakae na matembea, watembee huko na natembea, na wakuwe na tawe, tuone vile iko. Otherwise, Bernard, mambo Kenya. Sasa, where are we now? Tumetrop hiyo mambo tulikuwa tunafuata Bernard ama kumeenda aje? Because nobody is talking. Are we still in the race or we are in the race of 2027? I don't know where we are. Now tunaongea ODM from that day up to day, ODM na serikali inaendelea. Ruta batu anaendelea kutenga na kutenga na kutenga. So I think we are not serious. Kenyans lazima tuamuke, tuone what to do, na tuache kuingilia nyumba za wenyewe Bernard. Ndoa za wenyewe na wajakosana wenyewe. Niliona mea ya Mombasa, kuna MCA ama kuna mtu alikuwa amepoteza mama yake, na nikaona the whole preketia ya ODM walikuwa mpaka huko, na nikaona watu wengi sana. So hii chama tunaambiwa imeisha, inatoka Mombasa mpaka Homa Bay. Na wako strong. Sasa sijui ni gani inaisha, itaisha siku gani? Otherwise, Bernard, tuombee nchi yetu na watu wakuwe na msimamo. Na hata kama umekasirika, Mandago ingawa alituambia tuweke hasira kwa mbavu, kwa sababu lungs una breathe na kaa huko ndani. Hapana lete mpaka utapasuka na watu wataendelea. Ya mwisho Bernard, mimi naombea baba, najua mambo ya OAU imekuwa karibu. Na pia tushukuru hiyo serikali. Lazima Raila angepeana mkono Bernard. Kama Ruta ameng'ang'ana na kweli ukweli sasa si ya uongo. Kama ameng'ang'ana mpaka baba atakuwa OAU in any way. Kama anamtuma ndiye asisimame ama anatuma ndiye asimame. Raila amesimama 5 times. Tumemwangusha mara 5. Tumemnyima akuwe rais yetu mara 5. Sasa kama huyu Ruta atamfanya vile alimfanya akiwa prime minister, kwani Raila si anaona hii mtu si mbaya? Wakati Raila alibecome prime minister, Ruta was there. Now anampeleka OAU, Ruta is there. So who is your friend Bernard? Lazima watu waweke hiyo ratili. Uhuru alikuwa na sword, akapeana, akanyima baba. Sasa Ruta ndio huyu alichukua sword na akaangalia pande, akasema na baba yangu wako huko nyuma, anamuita msee kuja. Na alisema, mara ya kwanza alisema Pendraco nimechukua. I think, did you hear that Bernard? Alienda mara ya kwanza wakati Ruta alienda, was it Siaya or Homa Bay? Wakati alisema, hii ni Pentagon inaongoza. What was the meaning of that Bernard? Ya alikuwa na Gladys Wanga. Na Ruta akasema hapa nimerudi na baba ana maneno. So for me, I pata call with Ruto kwa sababu serikali yake imesimama. Baba hawezi enda OAU bila kusaidiwa na serikali, si Ruto, na serikali, kwa sababu ile kura inapikwa na mapresident na serikali inakupeana penalty, si ODM inapeana, si Azimio anapeana baba, si baba mwenyewe anachipea, anapeanwa na serikali ya Kenya, the country of Kenya, president ya Kenya. Ndiye kampeni yake imefanywa na serikali ya Kenya, kwa sababu kwa katiba ya OAU penalty ile watu walitoka mbili independent, wale walitokea tu na inji yao haikumsaidia, wameresign because they were not sent by their country, walikuwa naenda independent, but wame step down kwa sababu hii ni lazima inji ikutume. So I want to tell these people wanapika kelele ya kwamba Penat wanasema munaita nini? Better the devil you know than the angel.
Hey, mami wewe. So, thank you. The devil you know than the angel you don't know.
Unanirekebisha kwa sababu sijuani vile inasemwa, but I know kuna kitu kama hiyo. Heri sijui inasema nini hiyo.
Better the devil you know than the angel you don't know.
Yes, so the devil,
wanasema zimu likujualo alikuli likakumaliza.
Bas peda. Bas.
No, let me just address
na baba anaita huyo Ruto kijana yake because alikuwa alisimama na yeye. Tukienda ukweli, unajua ni uchungu kusema the truth, but for real I think we need to agree. Kama baba na ni kama anafaulu because ule mama ya Somalia ame step down, Tanzania wali step down, Uganda wali step down, kuna Chiputi, kuna ngine ime step down Bernard, na inasemekana hata hiyo mbili haijulikani kama iko East Africa ama iko West Africa.
Now, tuachie hapo, acha tutarudi hapo baadaye. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to engage, I have told you people over and over again, we are not a gossip channel and we are not a channel that tells you what you want to hear. We are a channel that would want to get things done accurately. Kuna madai hapa nimepewa na tuanze na mzee Ngigi anasema Bernard, stop acting like one who doesn't know what the constitution is saying. You are kind of joking, man. Now, I am just telling you what the constitution says, okay? The constitution does not deny any Kenyan to work with government as long as he's qualified, he's willing to. Sio lazima ufanyie kazi serikali, lakini kama unataka na serikali imekuomba na ukakubali, unaenda kufanya kazi na hakuna sheria umevunja. Na ndiposa kabla hawa watu waende kukua CS, they resigned from their political position both in parliament and in the political party. Haya niambie, nani Kaninikega kwenda kwa Kenya Kwanza aliresign kutoka kwa nini? Sabina Chege na all 29 members of parliament wa Jubilee waliresign kutoka kwa bunge? Hapana. They went to work with Kenya Kwanza. So which one is which one is working with Kenya Kwanza? Jubilee or ODM? Because watu wa ODM wale walikuwa wamechukuliwa na serikali waliresign kutoka kwa ODM, wakaresign kutoka kwa position zao kwa parliament ili wakuwe free to work with the government. But kina Kaninikega au watu wengine wote, they are still holding their political position in Jubilee, and the entirety of Jubilee is working with Kenya Kwanza. So with or without agreement, the reality here is that ODM is being victimized for nothing. ODM is being victimized for nothing. There is no crime they have committed. Alafu nani hapa anasema acha niache hiyo, anasema wapi huyu? Mama Selina, the courts declared Ruto a winner and Uhuru gave Ruto the sword. Exactly. Okay? The court announced, and then he was given the sword. So the person who handed power is the one to be questioned. Why did you hand power to Ruto? Okay? Kuanzia kwa Chebukati, kwa Supreme Court, kwa Uhuru Kenyatta. Hao ndio mnapaswa kushika watuambie kwa nini walipeana serikali kwa mtu ambaye ana dosari. Kwa hiyo court, baba alienda kustop Ruto. Okay? Akastopishwa. Alienda Bomas kustop Ruto. Akastopishwa. Kasarani ndio hakuenda. Alienda Kasarani ni nani? Ni Uhuru Kenyatta, to hand over power to somebody with questionable character. So if there is anything that has gone wrong with this country, let the three bodies answer. IEBC under Chebukati, Supreme Court under Koome, and of course, the previous government headed by Uhuru Kenyatta. Hao watatu. Raila Odinga hayuko kwa hao watatu. Ni ukweli tu kama tunataka haki. Raila Odinga is not among these three. If Raila Odinga features, he was there to stop the handing over or to stop getting somebody with questionable character in office. So why is he being stoned for the same? But the people who committed the crime, the people who did the action are all exempted. Wanasema sheria ilikuwa imesema Uhuru hakukuwa na choice. Chebukati pia hakukuwa na choice. Then let it be. Let it be. But not for us to have double standards ati ikifika kwa huyu sasa amekuwa shetani kwa sababu ameachilia watu wanne kwenda kufanya kazi. Both of us here, most of us here are parents. Kuna time ambaye hata mtoto wako, okay, umemwambia asifanye kazi sehemu fulani, lakini ataenda. Haimaanishi umemtuma. Why? Being an adult means they make their personal decisions and do what they are required to do. Raila does not think for ODM, and ODM doesn't act only on what Raila says. If that was the case, then ODM will be everything Raila. So let's not play games. Tuache hii hatred ambayo tunapeana na tunasambaza haifai kabisa. It is unfounded, it's unconstitutional, and we don't need it. Eti tumetafuta mtoto wa mtu ambaye tunapenda kulaumu, tulaumingi yeye kwa kila kitu. Hapana. Even if Raila comes out and says he's supporting Ruto, it's still his constitutional right. I will not support him for that. I will not agree with him for that. But it will still be his constitutional right. And that's what we all need to appreciate. Lakini harboring bitterness, spreading bitterness, and demanding that people join you in your bitterness, no. Apana. It doesn't work that way. So we gave power to Ruto because Chebukati said so, and Chebukati and Koome agreed in the same, and Uhuru supported them in the same. Or Uhuru did what he was commanded to do. So those are the people who must be held accountable, not someone else, in my opinion. Mr. Ngige, hapo tutakubaliana na wewe. I don't gossip. You are the one now beginning to gossip, and I don't appreciate that from you. What is the reality? The reality is that Uhuru was not in Koome did not announce Ruto as a winner, or Chebukati, or which one are you calling gossip? Please respect yourself. Huh? It's important to do that. And here we are just factual. We want facts, not games. Well, let's move on. Let's move on. There is this issue of county
governments are tonight staring at the prospect of a cash crunch over delayed release of funds by the National Treasury. The Council of Governors Finance Committee Chairperson Fernandez Barraza says special financing arrangements with local banks to meet recurrent expenditure is proving unsustainable, warning that operations across counties will be affected.
A 90-day delay in the release of funds to the devolved units is having a toll on operations, according to the Council of Governors. and which, if no measures are taken to address the current situation, may end up shutting county governments.
So in total, what we are talking about is a delay in receiving disbursements for 3 months. And to be very honest, this has really affected negatively operations in counties.
COG says the delay in release of the funds is further compounded by the sliced shareable revenue, following the withdrawal of the Finance Bill 2024, which it says will have far-reaching consequences.
So with 380 billion Kenya shillings, which has already been approved by the National Assembly via the supplementary budget, this is going also to affect the share of revenue that is attributed to counties.
And many times, counties are forced to have arrears going all the way to 3 to 4 months. And this year or the previous years has not been better, because seemingly every administration that has come with devolution, still we have not reached where we need to go.
The cry over the cash crunch compelling the Council of Governors to forewarn of looming scale-down operations and service delivery.
So we just want to warn the counties that it is going to be not going to be business as usual, and the only remedy is now to maximize on source revenue, and that is what I'm calling upon my colleagues.
Counties have since the advent of devolution been beset by combined challenges of delays in release of funds on time and successive administrations that have displayed little or no appetite for the total devolution of all functions. Ayub Abdikadir, Citizen TV.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for staying tuned. Now, Mzengige, tutakosana tafadhali. Remove my name from your comments, and I support Raila Odinga. I trust Raila Odinga better than anyone else. Okay? I don't mince word about it. His decisions for this country have been better than any other person's decisions for this country. Until you are able to hold relevance in this country for over 40 years and determine the direction of politics for 40 years, come and challenge Raila Odinga on the same. This one you are calling me for gossip, it's an invitation, you don't want to go there. Okay? Na hakuna kukosea watu kwa kusema ukweli, na kama nitakukosea kwa sababu nimekuambia ukweli, basi naruhusiwa kukukosea tena mara 100. So tafadhali, wewe ndio una gossip hapa ukitaka kupush a narrative ya your narrow-mindedness. You are an elder. An elder does not reason the way you are reasoning, that we should hate Raila, we should turn against Raila because you don't like him. That is not how you lead your home. That's not how you lead your family. So stop all that. And if Raila is cast, so how is that your problem? Is he your son? Why do you want to depend on him if he's cast? Raila sio mtapeli kama unavyofikiria, na kama amekutapeli enda kwake akupatie hela yako. Raila has been anti-government, all successive governments. Kama angekuwa mtapeli vile unavyosema, si wangekuwa wamemfunga. Mambo mengi yamesemwa, oh Raila did this, Raila did this. Why has he not been arrested? Why has he not been jailed for any of those crimes? Please don't share your gossip here. Come with facts, we'll reason together. No facts, I will not buy into that. And if you are sharing hate, you want us to contribute to joining you in hating somebody we don't know the wrong he did to you or did to us, that is a wrong move. That's a wrong move. ODM is the leading party in Azimio. Okay? It has more shares. Tukirudi kwa siasa shares. Yeye ndio ako na majority share. Na ukiwa na majority share kwa Kenya Commercial Bank, they cannot decide who is the CEO without your input. You must put in your input because you have the majority shares. You respect the other people, but your opinion is not taken lightly because you are a majority shareholder. So tukienda tu kwa hiyo hesabu peke yake, ODM should be respected in Azimio. And those who think they are better Azimio, Kalonzo was the last person to join Azimio. Kwanza leta shida sana. We were on this debate. We wrote off Kalonzo. We dismissed him completely because he was a stumbling block to Azimio. Now Azimio has become Kalonzo and Kalonzo has become Azimio. Tuache mchezo. Tuache mchezo kabisa. So let's stand strong and do what is right. Na kama mtaka kufuata katiba, amko tofauti na Ruto, you are still in the same bandwagon. So there is no need of hating Ruto. You're doing the same thing. You are not following the constitution. You are not upholding the constitution. So Ruto is right for not following the constitution because he's being supported by Michael Ngige and Anne here for not following the constitution. That is it. And if Uhuru followed the constitution to hand over power, then Ruto is in office constitutionally. There's no crime in working with him until you have changed the constitution and said otherwise. Tumalizie hapo kabla tumlete bwana Wangira. Wacha nicheze video moja alafu Wangira atakuja kutoa maoni yake. Cha muhimu hapa tuache gossip. We are not a gossip channel. We are not a rumors and mongering channel. You can join other rumor mongering channels that are pushing a narrative that has no head or tail. Us, we want to be factual because you show us the paper of the agreement, the dissolution of Azimio. You can dissolve Azimio anytime you want to. I don't think ODM leads the parliament because of Azimio. ODM does not get the party allocation in parliament because of Azimio. Let's remain focused on this one. Let's listen to this man. He's speaking someone's mind as well.
Yani kuna wangwana hapa, mimi si support hii mambo yake ya kuingia kwa serikali. Lakini mimi at least mtu anaweza nielewa. Nimemsupport na sasa ninaona hii kuingia kwa serikali ndo sitaki. Lakini kuna Mkenya mwingine mahali Raila akitaka kuwa president hataki. Akipanga maandamano hataki. Akiwacha maandamano hataki. Akiongea hataki. Akinyamaza hataki. Anasema sasa wacha niende AU hautaki. Anasema sasa sitaki AU hautaki. Sasa wewe unataka nini? Wewe hutaki kila kitu. Sasa hata do you want Raila to commit suicide? Hata hiyo pia hautaki. Unajua mimi ninasukuma William Ruto because I know he cannot do more than what he has done. We are asking a Volkswagen to go at the speed of a Mercedes. It cannot work. William Ruto hiyo amefanya ndo the best he can do. And I don't expect him to do anything more than that. Kama sio Raila Odinga, I can tell you. Kama sio Raila, Zakaya angekuwa ameshuka. Tulikuwa tumetingiza muti bwana. Tulikuwa ilikuwa imebakia tu branch moja amekamata. Tulikuwa tushukishe yeye. But I want to tell the government officials, one day there will be no Raila to save you.
Mambo ni kama hayo, nashukuru. Tumlete Wangira achangie.
How are you, Bernard?
I'm good. Karibu.
How are you, Selina?
I'm good, I'm good. I'm there.
Thank you. Bernard, you don't need to be worried.
Mwaka yetu atupanduki kwa sababu tumekuwa wasee. Lazima tusimame na haki yetu mpaka ile jioni yetu inafika.
Thank you. Bernard, you don't need to be worked up when people are expressing, their freedom of expression. You don't need. It is a person's constitution. It is my time. Allow me to finish. It is my time. Allow me to finish. You have given me my time. Allow me to finish, please, without interjecting. Just allow me to finish. So you don't need to be worked up, when a person is expressing his freedom of expression by criticizing Raila Odinga. That is right. We cannot always agree on anything. We will always be differing. And, if a person differs with Raila Odinga's opinion, that's his right. Then, secondly, I agree with you that we need ODM needs to be respected. But again, you cannot force respect. Respect is not forced; it's earned. Is upon ODM to earn that respect. You cannot force it. You cannot force it. So let ODM earn the respect. And then Bernard, you want to blackmail us into respecting ODM?
No, I've not told you for Mr. Wakira, stop putting words in my mouth. I never said you should respect ODM. And if there is any earning, ODM has already earned that respect by being the oldest party in this country, the only constitutional party. So which respect do you want them to earn? Thank you.
Bernard, that was just by the way. It was by the way. It was not my main contribution. Bernard, I've just been looking at, this issue, Maina Wanjigi, the arrest of Maina Wanjigi, and there is a High Court order from Milimani Court, which I'm just reading here, in part 2, which says that pending hearing and determination of application dated 8th of August 2024, conservatory order to be and is hereby issued restraining the respondent. The respondent in this matter, I believe, is the Inspector General, from jointly or severally through their servants, agents, or third parties acting under the direction of authority of the Inspector General from detaining, arresting, or restraining the liberty and freedom of movement of the petitioner, who is Maina Wanjigi. Then in part 3, they are saying that where the respondent, Bernard, where the respondent with the Inspector General, his servants, agents, or third parties acting under the direction or authority of him, where they want to issue orders for arrests or restraining issues of freedom of movement, blah blah blah. Then a further conservatory order. This is now they are saying a further conservatory order is being hereby issued, directing that the respondent jointly acting under the direction of the authority the authority. Then they are saying the petitioner, which in short, what this particular order, Bernard, is saying that Maina Wanjigi should not be arrested until this matter is heard and determined, Bernard. And where there is perhaps need, where perhaps he has committed an offense, and there is need, Bernard, there is need to have him, Bernard, they should just summon him. And after summoning him, then if they find that there is need to take Maina Wanjigi to court, Bernard, they can instruct that he appears before court on a particular date. So long as this particular order exists, he cannot be arrested. Where he commits an offense, Bernard, he can be summoned and then he can be directed to appear before court on the date set. But what are we seeing, Bernard? We are seeing a contravention of this particular court order. This court order is still alive. It's still alive. It's still in force. Bernard, the court order was issued on the 8th of August 2024. But what are we seeing? We are seeing Maina Wanjigi being arrested. And I understand that the reason why Maina Wanjigi has been arrested, what I have seen online, is in regards to a firearm certificate, the guns that he used to own. So I understand that the firearm certificate was revoked, and then he was given 14 days to surrender, which they purport that he never surrendered. So those are the reasons why he has been arrested today, and the reason they are saying that they will be taking him to court tomorrow. So better, if that was the reason, what was hard for them to have summoned Maina Wanjigi? Then, after the summon, because today when he went to the Nairobi area police, I believe he was, responding to a summon. After having responded to a summon, because it could have been easier that they carry out the investigation, then they direct him on the day to appear before court, That could have been, that could have been in the agreement with this particular court order. that was given by Justice Bahati Mwamuye, That's the person who gave this particular court order. But what are we seeing? We are seeing a contravention of a court order. Yani, the police going against a court order, a live court order, Bernard. Bernard, I don't want to be Maina Wanjigi's advocate because I don't want to be. He can defend himself as a person. But Bernard, I every day I've told you, and I repeat here, that Bernard, our problems, the problem with this country, Bernard, is that we like engaging in what I call a rat race. Like now we are in a rat race. What I was discussing about Raila Odinga and responding to what you said about Raila Odinga is a rat race, Bernard. That's not the real issue in this country. Raila Odinga is not the real issue in this country. Bernard, the real issues in this country are values and principles of governance, Bernard. Those are the real issues in this country. And so long as Bernard, we don't want to deal with the real issue, and we want to deal with what I call a rat race, Bernard, we shall not solve the problems that are bedeviling this country. For example, Bernard, I've always told you that, part of our problem, Bernard, is the issue of the rule of law. Bernard, if truly we are a country that believes in a rule of law, and there is a court order like this one that was given to Jimmy Wanjigi by Justice Honorable Bahati Mwamuye, Bernard, that restrained the police from arresting him, Bernard. If we are a country that is being governed by rule of law, why was he being arrested? Why was he being arrested? If there's a live court order, those are the things that I call about the rule of law. And Bernard, is not about even Maina Wanjigi, it's about me and you. It's even about me and you. Because they say that, if I don't defend your right, I'll be a victim next day and nobody will be there to defend my right. Bernard. Because, Maina Wanjigi is a billionaire and look at the way he's being treated. Ask yourself, if it was you and if it was me and you, ordinary Kenyans, Bernard, what could the situation be? This is a billionaire, Bernard, carrying a court order, and the police can violate the rule of law by locking him in, Bernard. If it was you and me, those are the questions that we need to ask ourselves, Bernard. I've told you that, the problem in this country are issues to deal with democracy, Bernard. That's the life picture, Bernard. That's the life picture that we need to deal with. Issues to deal with social justice, Bernard. Those are the real issues that we need to deal with. Issues to deal with human rights. Issues to deal with good governance. Issues to deal with the integrity, transparency, and accountability. So as the people of Kenya, we need to dwell on the bigger picture and continue fighting within the bigger picture. But unfortunately, we are being narrowed into what I call a rat race, Bernard. And being narrowed into a rat race here, where now it's Raila Odinga, Joram Wangira, Bernard, Mama Selina. Bernard, we just remain where we are in that what we call a vicious circle. Then when shall we ever break the vicious circle? Bernard, if we remain in that vicious circle in the manner that we are remaining in as a country. So, Bernard, as a people, devoid of the political party that you support, devoid of the person that you support, devoid of your ethnic community, devoid of your race, devoid of your economic status, Bernard, the most important thing, Bernard, that you must fight for, Bernard, are the values and principles of governance. Because if we get the values and principles of governance, Bernard, correctly, and I've repeated it severally here, if we get our values and principles of governance correctly, Bernard, and the other time I told you that it will not matter even if the president of the Republic of Kenya becomes a robot. We have seen, there is a restaurant in Nairobi here where now a robot has taken over, the services of waiters, Bernard. And that's why, I was using this example of a robot, that so long as, Bernard, we adhere to the values and principles of good governance, it does not matter who becomes the president. Anybody can become president of this country, and anybody can steer this country to the direction it's supposed to go. But Bernard, so long as we are disregarding values and principles of good governance in this country, in search of what I call the rat race, Bernard, we shall not arrive anywhere, Bernard, and we shall remain where we are for a very, very long time. You know, I'm always reminded that the distance between Egypt and Israel, Bernard, is not many, many kilometers. It's not many kilometers, could be around 800 kilometers. And it took those people 40 years just to move from Egypt to Israel, Bernard. It has taken us, the people of Kenya, Bernard, today 14 years since we attained our 2010 constitution, and we are still stuck just there, Bernard. 14 years, and we are still stuck there, and we don't know how long we are going to remain there, Bernard. So, you know, we must look for a way to disengage, because if we don't disengage, Bernard, you know, tutabaki pale pale kama wana Israeli. We just keep on rotating without going anywhere.
What are you sanctioning Kenyans to do? Okay, because you're talking about the upholding of the rule of law. Who is charged with that responsibility? And who
good question. Good question. You know, good question. Let me tell you, I've been reading tweets, you know, I've been reading X posts by people on X here. And, you know, I've used this analogy of the rat race, Bernard. For example, I'm not Minor Wanjigi's advocate, but, you know, we are country governed under rule of law. Then if we are country governed under rule of law, then an arrested person is presumed innocent until proven guilty. But what are we seeing? Just because, you know, the musical chairs have changed, that, you know, a section has moved to the other end, now, you know, they are starting to condemn another section. You know, that's the problem I have. What I was telling you the other day, the divide and rule, you know, mechanism here, where now, you know, we have to keep on accusing other people instead of defending their rights, Bernard. Because I'll defend your right, Bernard, even if I don't agree with you, Bernard. I'll keep on defending your right, Bernard. And, you know, we are seeing a scenario where now it's accusing other people. And, you know, by accusing other people, Bernard, you know, we are forgetting the larger picture. We are forgetting the larger picture. The larger picture in this country, Bernard, I've told you, is about the national values and principles of governance, period. Let us get our national values and principles of governance correct. If we get them correct, Bernard, it does not matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. You know, and that's my point.
My question is, who is to get those values functioning? Is it by us calling for them? Is it by us having baraza? Or how do we implement that? Because you are calling us into enforcing when we are not even law enforcement officers. You're on mute, and to summarize, we need to hear.
Let me answer your question in a very, very basic way. You know, the drafters of our Kenya 10 Constitution, Bernard, understood, you know, where we were coming from and where we are supposed to have gone. And the reason why they came up with Article 3, Bernard, and this article is very, very clear. The article is titled Defense of this Constitution. Defense of this Constitution. And what does it say, Bernard? It says that every person has an obligation to respect, uphold, and defend the Constitution. So, Bernard, it is your obligation as Bernard, being a citizen of Kenya, to defend this Constitution. It is an obligation of every Kenyan, you know, not a selected set of people or not a selected few. Every Kenyan has an obligation to defend this Constitution. And, you know, it's up to you, Bernard, to keep on demanding that, you know, Article 10, Article 10, Bernard, is adhered to. It's up to you. By defending the Constitution, it's up to you. So it's not about you asking questions. It's about you doing what you're supposed to do. Unfortunately, you are not doing what you're supposed to do, and you're now asking questions.
Mr. Wangira, Thank you for that, but you're accusing me for nothing. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, giving you voice to say what you are supposed to say, and ensuring that you're being heard. I want the people in the comment section to keep the focus, please. Let's not cheer what we know that is not accurate. And then, of course, constitutionalism requires that we all take responsibility. And that is what we preach here, taking responsibility and not looking for who to blame. Many of us here have a way of trying to reframe the topic of the day and turn it into something else. And others, I don't even appreciate your what? The way you treat the topic, because according to you guys, we should be discussing something better than the topic of the day. But you are yet to send me one topic since we started this show 3 years ago. So I don't get it. Secondly, part of this show, we discuss current affairs. And the current affairs are the current happenings. If that is part of what we are discussing, we should just give it justice as it deserves. If we don't have material on it, let's not touch it. But if we have material on it, we are free to express ourselves. Secondly, freedom of speech does not mean we use an parliamentary language, doesn't give you right to insult anybody and call anybody names. If that is what you call freedom of speech, you need to go and check again what freedom of speech is. We are at liberty to express ourselves, but we should express ourselves on what is valid, what is factual, and what is true. The Bible says, whatsoever that is true, whatsoever that is lovely, whatsoever that is of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, let's think about these things. So freedom does not mean you're free to say anything to anyone anyhow. That's not freedom. Freedom must come with responsibility. Except you want freedom that leads to bondage. That is freedom without rules, freedom without limits, freedom without regulation. That one can only lead you to bondage because you will end up in prison. It doesn't matter how much you practice that your freedom. So our freedom must be within the responsibility required. And that responsibility is, let's talk about what we can substantiate. Let's talk about what is constitutional. And if you insist on what's constitutional, let there be that constitution provision, but not the gossip on the street. PGR, how are you today?
I'm all right, thank you. How about you?
Great, great. Welcome.
Fantastic. Wangila ameenda wapi bana?
Oh, anafikiria anarejea, lakini ongea tu.
Ametoweka. Mimi nilikuwa nataka kumuuliza kitu moja, pia wewe mkihusika pia na yeye. Unakumbuka ile story yenye ilikuwa imesemekana, story za, how do you call this, Mogoka? Mimi nilikuwa kwa comment nikisema hiyo kitu haitaenda popote. Mnakumbuka watu wakisema Mogoka iko band, Mogoka sio ifanye nini? Mimi nilikuwa kwa comment, sikuja usiku kwa show nikisema hiyo kitu hakuna vile hiyo kitu itatolewa. Hiyo ni just a propaganda of political agenda. There's nowhere we'll go. Na kujua Kenya yetu vile iko, we get worked up. Kwanza mara ya kwanza politician says, whatever politicians say, hatuna discerning eyes ya kuona saa zingine wakiongea wanaongea stories tu za jaba, as they say it, the young taxis, they call it story tu za jaba. Tunafaa tujue politician ifanya chochote, we need to detach ourselves, kwa sababu wa politician tayari wameshatufanya in the past tukapigana. Mimi nimeona hiyo video ya huyo mtu akiongea, 100% agree with that guy. I remember the beginning, nilikuwa, my feelings was kind of attached na politician nilikuwa kwa political side, lakini saizi looking on a fresh eyes, I don't even need to follow anybody. Lakini mimi kitu naheshimu mtu akuwe na msimamo. Na so far Bernard, na kuheshimu wewe msimamo yako, you love Raila. Wewe na Raila ni absolutely kaa chata na pete, and I respect her, kwa sababu hapo Kenya hatuna politician Kenya mzima wenye wana msimamo, uoga wana sway. One minute they're supporting this, the next minute they're saying something different. One minute they're saying something different, the next minute they're proposing ama opposing what they said juzi. Kwa hivyo mimi somehow I've got respect for you. I don't support Raila, I don't support Ruto. I've never voted for anyone, either anyone at all, hata MP mimi sijai vote kwa sababu I don't see anybody qualifying for me personally. Lakini wenye nyinyi mnaenda, msikuwe divided kwa sababu political language is when you want to rule, you have to make sure you have division, whether it's gonna be by tribalistic, whether it's gonna be ethnicity, lakini any sort of divide inafanyaga political narrative inasimama kwa ngao, and that's what they're doing. Na mimi nakumbuka mara kwanza hii tukienda nikisema tu kwa sababu I wasn't part of it, lakini nikisema tu nasema Wakenya kwa jumla, hii wakati wa maandamano ikifanyika, Ruto kweli alikuwa karibu kwenda. Ndio manake hiyo video imecheza hiyo mwanamume, mimi nakubali nayo 100%. Probably 3 weeks ago I would have been looking in a different islands. Na mimi ni mtu mzima. Wanasema only a fool never changes his mind, but a wise person, you look at things differently. Unaweza kusema kitu one day, ndio not on a political background, lakini on a wise, inaitwa wisdom. Yenye kitabu ya Proverb inatuongelea kila mara kuhusu wisdom. Wisdom ni kitu nyingine la maana sana, na linakuja only with age, kwa sababu wanasema mla chumvi nyingi, something what you say, what says about eating a lot of salt, come with a lot of wisdom, because salt is only an condiment, a condiment unatumia kidogo kidogo, si kama skari unaweza kula kwa jumla, lakini in a day huwezi consume a lot of salt. Mimi nasema hivi kusema, saa zingine hapa kwa hii channel we need to take a step back, kwa sababu nimerealize kuna certain, and you can tell Wakenya sisi ni watu tunapenda ukabila, whether we want to say it or not, that is the fact. Ukiangalia vile Mkenya anavotigi according to tribalistic, where they're from or where they originate from, ama ethnicity. That's how we vote. That's how we were programmed. Kwanzia wakati wa Jomo Kenyatta, ule Julius Nyerere played a different game na Tanzania, lakini hapo ndo Kenya tumefail. Tribal ni absolutely very strong and is so alive in Kenya, but we don't want to talk about it. How can we ashame something when we are ashamed to talk about it and face it? Hata kwa psychology wanaongea, when you face your fear, you conquer it. Lakini tutaki kuongelea, ukisikia mtu anasema juu ya kabila, sema hapana, mimi sio kabila. We are very tribalistic. Ukiangalia comment wengi wao wanachongoa Raila ni wale nye Raila alikuwa wanaita maandamano, wanasema wanatuharibia business. Ukiangalia I'm not being mean. I'm not picking on anybody. I am speaking on a factual. Let's be factual kama Kenya. Tuache utoto, tuache mapoliticians wasichukulie ujinga. Wametuchukulia ufala for so many years. Let's open our eyes and see the truth. Let's bring us together like the way we were on the 25th of July. We were so unison. We were one as a force. But right now, tumetapanyika kwa sababu tunafuata tribalistic. Come on now. Ngige na wengine wenyu, tafadhali, let's cool down the tone. Kwa sababu nimeona kuna pattern wala kwanza walikuwa wanaingilia Raila, na those were the die-hard fans of Raila at the beginning. Lakini sasa wame ease off, and there's another group of
your
pattern.
audio is failing. PGR, stay closer to the microphone.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting excited. Sorry about that. Now then, yeah, there's another pattern of people who are right now still criticizing Raila. And when you see the pattern of people, are the people who are always on the other side. And I'm here to speak the truth. Please don't sikuji hapa na ubaya, nakuja hapa tufungulike macho kama sisi watu wa Kenya. If we want to come together, the truth always have to stay. Ukweli usimama kama ngao. Hapo ndo tuna lack. Kwa hivyo Wakenya wenzetu, tafadhali tusikubali kutawanishwa. Kuna group tofauti yenye uwaga tayari wamechukia Raila. Vile mtu amesema, ule jamaa amesema nataka ile hawampendi. Pia mimi nilikuwa kwa hiyo group, lakini saizi nimeona kama I'm not gonna waste my emotion. He's allowed to do what
Okay,
he wants.
thank you. Let's do this. Let's rest it there. Rest it there. I think you've communicated, but you need to fix your audio.
How does it sound like?
It keeps fluctuating. It comes up, it goes down, it comes up, it goes down. So your wordings are not coming out clearly. Just fix it and then you can get back. Thank you very much. But your message, asante sana. Now, naomba hivi tafadhali tumakinike. Wale ambao mnapata bonga points kwa kutafutia Raila makosa, congratulations to you. But unajua ukianza kutafutia mtu makosa inamaanisha hana makosa mingi. Lazima uende kutafuta makosa kumlimbikizia. Lakini angekuwa na makosa mingi, hiyo ingekuwa rahisi kupata hayo makosa. Kugeuka ni muhimu. Okay? Kugeuka ni muhimu. Kufukuza Ruto ni rahisi. Lakini baada ya kufukuza Ruto, mlikuwa na plan gani? Okay? Mlisema tufukuze kwanza ndio tujipange. Nchi gani huwa inafanya kazi hivyo? Tufukuze kwanza alafu ndio tujipange. Haikuangi hivyo. Big J anasema, Bernard, I was listening to Simba Arati's speech in Homa Bay and he said we will tell Ruto that we are equal. What is the meaning of this? That's still stage speech. That's not official communication. According to the official pressing today, National Chairman Wanga said there is no documentation of any agreement between ODM working with UDA. ODM only released 4 people to go and be PS, which is normal. Ole Kiapi alikuwa sijui mwalimu sijui nini akaenda akakuwa PS. Anybody can work with government. Raila is almost 80 years old. I don't know why you people are stuck with him, that you want to control him. You want to control an 80-year-old man, who to greet, who not to. You people are not serious. How? And you know you people are refusing to be honest with yourselves. What you have no control over, you have no control over. It doesn't matter how much noise you make. So kama Raila amewaibia hela, niko tayari kuwapeleka kwa ofisi mlipwe kama kuna hela amewaibia. Lakini kama muko na uhasama kinyume na yeye, mimi sitawasaidia kuchangia uhasama. Muniite psycho fund, muniite everything. You can do that very well on your own platform, in your own name. Okay? Not using my name to spill venom against an innocent person. Tuachane na hiyo, tafadhali. Aya, Maina Wanjigi hapa amekuwa arrested unfairly, kinyume na sheria. Okay? The person who carried out the arrest and ordered is William Ruto. Nobody's talking anything about it. Everybody wants to look for where is Raila Odinga. So nimekam conclusion. Hawa watu wote wanaonea Raila Odinga wanaogopa Ruto. Wanaogopa Ruto, hawataki kuzungumza kuhusu Ruto kwa sababu ni rahisi kulaumu Raila kuliko kushughulikia Ruto. That's all I can say. And that's not accurate. Tuangalie maneno vile yalivyo. Let's look at this man. This man is doing a good job. I must let him speak and then we move to the next item.
Previously on the Vampire Diaries.
Watu wa Makueni hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Mimi nilikuwa hapa tarehe 27 mwezi wa 5 mwaka 2017. Ni kweli si kweli? Ni kweli. Sasa nimerudi hapa tena na nitaweka tena mpango ingine ya hii Wote Stadium Makueni County ambayo ilikuwa na 1500 capacity stadium. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Tulikuwa tumeweka 299 million. Hiyo ni karibu milioni 300 kwa hii mradi. Tayari tumekwisha lipa contractor 126 million. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Sasa kukijengwa stadium hapa, hawa mama mboga hawa, na hawa watu makanga, na hawa vinyozi, na wale wabeba, sasa hawa wote wataweza kufurahia manufaa ya hii stadium. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Nataka niwaeleze hivi. Tunataka amani katika taifa letu. Hatutaki fujo. Hatutaki siasa ya maandamano. Sijui kama mnanisikia hapa. Watu wa Makueni mnasemaje? Situpange hii kazi. Situlete kila mtu ndani ya serikali ya makabila yote. Bas, mimi nimekuja hapa. Sasa hii mradi nitafungua tena na tena hapa kando hapa. Nitaweka mradi ya housing units. Hapa kwa hii fence hii. Tayari hapo tushaweka mpango, tutajenga hapo housing units ambazo hawa vijana ambao hawana kazi wataweza kununua. Na hawa wafanyikazi wa serikali ambao wanatozwa ushuru usiku na mchana, sasa wataweza kununua hizi nyumba ambazo tunataka kujenga hapa. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Salale, kweli nyinyi ni watu mmejielewa. So I'm here at Wote Stadium in Makueni County to see where 126 million money ya Wakenya imetumika. Sasa in a couple of months the stadium in Wote will be complete. Bas, that was 2017 when he said that. Ndio hii. Mambo ni live. So in this episode of the Vampire Diaries, I've already shown you the Wote Stadium. Now, just opposite the Wote Stadium, my cameraman is going to show you, the Wote Stadium is that fence that you see there. He's going to zoom it in for you. So that fence that you see there, that is Wote Stadium. Now, directly opposite it, the bush has already been cleared. His Excellency President William Ruto now wants to build affordable housing. He will come here very soon to launch this one, affordable housing. Now, I want you to see what we have down here, just next to where he wants to build his affordable housing projects. Just look. Look at those houses. Those are several blocks of houses that were built long time ago. I don't know whether it's during Moi's time or Kibaki's time, but a long time ago. Some of them, they are in a state of disrepair, but I believe they can be renovated. Because easy blocks ziko 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. They're like 20 blocks here, residential blocks. I believe hizi ni zile zikuanga zinajengewa civil servants. So now let me ask you guys, if William Ruto is interested in being our president, if he indeed is interested in governance, why build affordable housing here when you have incomplete houses there?
Many people, I have heard many people discuss about, okay, you made promises, you haven't kept some of them. As we talk today, in 6 months' time, the stadium in Wote will be complete.
Haya mabibi na mabwana, mambo ni kama hayo. That is what I call factual. Okay? Clear reporting. Find out the reality behind appearance. Other than just, parroting what you have heard or what you've been told. It is important that we as Kenyans learn to ask right questions so that we get right answers. Not to go for the shortest cut to the greatest catch. That's my stand. So what the Vampire is doing is a good fact-checking program that we all need to be doing. Want to see the water he went to launch, a tap he went to launch in Malava. Hey. Ruto amefanya kukua rais imekuwa kitu ambayo hata ipendezi. Kama the dignity of being a president ile tulikuwa tunaogopa ya Jomo Kenyatta ya Moi tukitetemeka is no longer there. I mean, what is this man up to? Mama Selina Koko. Na wengine wale mnaingia studio mkuje mapema.
Nakwambia Penat, Kenya imechange 21st century na mambo yake, na sasa bado nafikiri tukimaliza hii CNC tukuje hiyo group ingine Penat, tutakuwa ile wasee ya kusema I wish I would not be here to see what is happening, kwa sababu heshima imetupiliwa nje Penat. Hakuna, tulikuwa tunaheshimu bendera, tunakuwa tunaheshimu ofisi, na sasa hata hii nchi wako na katiba na wanachunga heshima Penat. So I think the country, you cannot rule the country kama kila mtu achali and everybody, ni kama kila mtu anataka, makosa ni hao wakubwa lakini sisi ndiye tunawachakua. We blame ourselves. Na tunaona mambo hivyo yote ya Wanjigi, mambo hii yote ya kotini. Yes, imefanyika hivyo na nasikia Wangira anasema Wanjigi ni bilionea. Lakini ukiwa bilionea na umefanya makosa, lakini sasa hii si makosa. Na wanachuana. Serikali ya Uhuru Ruto ilitengenezewa kwa Wanjigi. Hawakukuwa kwa serikali, but Wanjigi alitoka nje. So these people, they know, wanajua siri Penat. Huyu mtu anasumbuliwa hivi, hawezi kuwa among those people. Na ninakumbuka Wanjigi alikuwa na Raila, taka mwisho akatoka ODM, akataka kusimama. So you know Penat, what happened? Na yeye ndiye alikuwa anaunda serikali ya Uhuru kwa nyumba yake. Na alisema anataka kusimama na ODM akalete fujo. Wakati alitoka alienda huko. So Wanjigi ni kitu moja na Ruto, wanajuana na hiyo Uhuru, wanajuana Penat. Ni vile tu anafinywa labda hajakubali vile waliambiana, ama kuna siri anajua. Hawezi kuwa ameenda kutolewa tu innocent. Yeye alikuwa ndani 2013, yeye ndiye alikuwa ndani sahi. So labda amekataa kutoa pesa. Sisi wananchi tunashangilia tu na kusikia huruma, lakini wenyewe they know what they are doing. Business, watu ya matajiri na serikali wanajua kuna ile kitu wamekosania, ndiye anasema naenda kukutoa nguo, na ule mwingine anamwambia utanijua. So all those things, kama ni kupelekwa kotini, kama alikuwa na makosa, siku hizi inasemekana huwezi kuwa ndani 24 hours Penat. Unless umeshikwa Friday na kotini ni Monday. Ile kunyanyasa. Lakini hata hiyo Friday unastahili kupatiwa free bond, ndio usilale ndani, Monday ukue kotini. But they are not following that. Hii hot air naona hata leo Gladys Wanga ametuambia hii hot air inaendelea Penat. Mahali ile mama alitoa Waiguru, naitwa nani huyu Chief Justice, mahali alitoa hiyo hot air, sasa ina hot air kila mahali, inaendelea mpaka 2027 hot air tukisikia. So our people, tukue serious. Wale wanafanya kazi tufuate, tuone wametutendea haki, na kama wanasembea kazini tunawachia time watafute pesa. Anakuja anatununulia, tukimwongelesha anasema I buy you for 5 years. So they have already buy people for 5 years Penat. So munataka kuwatoa waende wapi? It is us Kenyans to choose the right leaders. Na hapo ndio tunakosea, ndio sababu tunakasirikia Raila. Kwa sababu bila Raila hakuna mahali tunaenda. kwa nini tusiwachane na yeye? Na kama tulikuwa tumesema awachane naye, tuweke wheelbarrow tumpeleke Pondo na tukuje tufanye kazi yetu. Kwa nini nao kwa watu 100 ama 10 sentences 9 yote inalaumu Raila? Yote mkono yako yote ine penalty ni Raila tu. Kila mtu kona hii ametusaliti, Raila. Why? Mliambia usitoke, kaa nyumbani. Amekaa nyumbani, anatengeneza mambo polepole nyumbani. Kwa nini watu wanasumbuka?
Okay,
unapendwa saa ile unasema uongo, lakini saa ile unasimama na ukweli. Watu wengi heri pena tukue na rafiki wachache na ukweli kuliko kukua na rafiki 100 na ni ya uongo. I think hapo ndio msimamo ni ya maana sana penalty. Na Raila ni batu, ni Raila hata alisimama amepigania ya kutosha. Akuja apigani. Unajua hii generation penalty si wachukuu ya Raila, si great inaitwa nini, it is great grandchildren, ni ine, si watoto yake, si watoto ya watoto yake, ni watoto ya wachukuu yake. So can you imagine mtu amepigania wewe, amepigania rika yake penalty, amekuja akapigania rika ingine, akakuja amekupigania, sasa amepigania watoto yako, sasa unataka apiganie mpaka tuchukuu. Yani sasa ile watu wanalaumu Raila ni tuchukuu. Hata ukiuliza kasi yenye Raila alifanya penalty, they don't know, kwa sababu hiyo history haiko kwao. That is why sasa I want them to have their own Raila. Nataka hawa wasae Raila yao. Let them have Raila.
Okay, mami. Let me weigh on that. Me, I stand for what is true, what is valid. Okay, and I would defend anybody in terms of what is accurate. And the reason why I do this show and we do this show is to keep the conversation in its proper perspective. There are so many channels that are doing make-believe. We don't do make-believe deliberately. Si hatuwezi kutafuta hizo sensational topics na kuzifanya, si hatuwezi au hatutaki. I mean, we are doing what we are doing by choice. But I can see some of us are determined to push us into those sensational, unfounded talks. To me, I really want us to be mature and be the leading conversation channel whereby we only share what we can stand by. That's why I played your video, fact finding and remaining factual. Story ya Maina Wanjigi is in prison. They may be even right to arrest him, but it's wrong because it's in violation of the law. He has already obtained a court order not to be arrested, and if it's needed, he can be summoned. So it is a violation of the law for him to be arrested. Those who are comparing Maina Wanjigi to other people, they are not being honest with themselves. They're not being honest with themselves, and it's all because they want to misguide and lead the public. Maina Wanjigi has his own issues with the government. He was on television. Those of you who heard him speak on television, that conversation, if you spoke like that during Moi's time, you don't descend from that the station. Nakumbuka kuna time alikuwa na Ndindi Nyoro alijifungia Citizen for 3 days. Alikuwa amengojwa hapo nje. That was Uhuru Kenyatta's time. So there are truths that Maina Wanjigi is sharing. Some of them are held in confidence, and it is dangerous for them to be leaked out. So that's why he's a target. Is it right for him to be targeted? No, it's not right for him to be targeted. But we should listen to the case properly, judge it to the case properly. There is something somebody sent me today about the quick and thought out decisions of changing not the chairs but changing the leadership. And I was suggesting that now you see there is a push for the Gen Z that they want now Matiang'i for president. Okay, others now want Wanjigi for president, and then others want someone else for president. It is not wrong for these people to want somebody to be president, but are we ready to analyze these people properly? So somebody was asking, when Matiang'i was Minister for Internal Security, okay, did he follow the law? Did he follow the law? Did he do what was required of him as CS? Now, if he did not follow the law when he was Minister for Internal Security, is he going to follow the law when he's made president? Or are we going to end up with having somebody worse than Ruto? Now, these are the things that we need to be looking at. Okay? You want Maina Wanjigi to be president. No problem. He's a free Kenyan to vie for president. But he has worked with government all along. Okay? Our government is known for corruption. Corruption is part of a government operations. How sure are we that the riches he has, he got them genuinely? And is the best man to take care of our wealth, protect our money, and protect our government. Are we willing to have that conversation? You say, no, don't go there. You're going personal. That is it. So Kenyans are the really problem in this country, but they always look for somebody to blame. Our really problem is we don't want to scrutinize the people. We don't want to put people on carpet and be able to get the real thing behind what is happening. We want to brush it off by saying it is tribal, or it is political, or it is targeting mutu wetu. Apana. In the next elections, if we don't take toll on what is happening now and secure the election by ensuring that everybody on the ballot is eligible to be trusted, if we don't make sure that nobody makes to the ballot if they cannot be trusted, then we are doomed. We have opened the doorway for anybody to get in. And if anybody gets in, expect anything to be done. So in my humble submission, as Kenyans, let's do due diligence. Let's stop this shallow brushing over. Is now Matiang'i? No, it's now Maina Wanjigi. Is now this other. There has to be a different approach for us to get different results. And it will cost more if we are going to do it diligently and focusedly. The rest who want to gossip, the rest who want to go shallow and don't want scrutiny, you are free to. It's part of your constitutional right. But to me, an office like that of a president, that of a governor, that of a member of parliament, that of a member of county assembly should not be left for everybody. Those are sacred offices. They need to be protected. It's like priestly office. Not everybody can be a priest. Not everybody can be a pastor. Not everybody can be an apostle. Not everybody can be a man of God. That is a sacred call. Lakini sisi tunafungulia kila kitu kiingie huko ndani. Kukiharibika, tutafute mtu wa kulaumu. Hapo ndio tumekosea kama Wakenya. Na kama tutarekebisha saa hii, tutarudi hapo hapo. Okay? Raila Odinga is in the sunset. Yeye ashamaliza ya kwake. Anakula pension yake, anaenjoy maisha yake. Wajukuu wake wako covered, vituku vyake viko covered. I don't see why he's your problem. You've been in this country longer than Raila Odinga. You must take responsibility. Tuache lawama. Asante lakini. Mr. Wangira, you say?
Oh, my sister PGR was asking where it gone. And I just want to remind her that I'm back here.
Don't worry, it's my turn. I'm going to ask you something. Thank you.
Okay.
Is
that all?
Excuse me, sorry?
Did you have a question for Mr. Wangira?
I did, yeah. Wangira, unakumbuka ukisema wakati ile wa inaitwaje ile Mogoka, ukisema Mogoka itakuwa banned, imeharibu watoto wetu nani, Wakenya wengi walikubali, na mimi nilikuwa najua ni story tu ya jaba. Unakumbuka wewe na Bernard vile mlikuwa mnasema, hata Mama Selina ulikuwa hapo kwa hiyo group moja, mkiamini hao politician. Mimi chochote politician wanasema, I take it with a pinch of salt. Siwaamini, no, siwaamini hao watu. Ni story tu za jaba. Ya kukuja hapo, Mama Selina, nakumbuka umesema kuna kitu nimefurahia na nimekubali na wewe 100%. Ukisema afadhali kuwe na marafiki wachache kwa sababu ya kusema ukweli kuliko kuwa na marafiki wengi na kwa sababu unasemaga uongo. Hiyo nakubali nao kabisa. Na saizi mimi nasikitika kuona before hii yote maandamano ifanyike, Sifuna alikuwa ana gain a lot of popularity. Jina ya Sifuna ilikuwa inasikika Kenya mzima kwa televisheni.
PGR, there is something terribly wrong with your audio.
Oh dear.
Please just leave the studio, restart your gadget, and then get back so that
okay, I'll do that. I'll do so.
It's not lost in the course of your submitting. And then I also want us to move away from personalities. I think this country can only be fixed by what Wangira said, the rule of law, and that rule of law will take every Kenyan, okay? Haruni anasema Raila is our problem by virtue of crucifying the cause that has been common conviction. Hata Baraba alifanya hivyo, okay? Baraba hakuzuia Yesu kwenda kwa msalaba. Na Yesu alipofika kwa msalaba aliokoa kwanza na Baraba, alafu Juda, then hao wengine. Wenye makosa tu ndio wanahitaji rehema na huruma. Tuache historia ya kujaribu kujifanya kana kwamba sisi watakatifu sana, hatuwezi kosea. Kwangu mimi, kama tuko tayari kumfurusha Ruto, hakuna mtu ametuzuia. Kama tuna uwezo wa kumfurusha William Ruto, tufanye hivyo. Okay? Hakuna mtu anakuzuia kufanya hivyo. Lakini ya kusema Raila alikuzuia, hiyo ni kutafuta excuse. Excuses are the crutches of the uncommitted. Ulikuwa unataka kutoroka ile primary school, ukitaka kuchapa mtu na mtu unajua atakuchapa, unatangulia kusema nishike nitammaliza. Na ile ukweli ni kwamba unataka wamshike yeye asikuchape wewe. So ninyi mlikuwa mnataka Raila azuie maandamano, mwache hiyo story yenu ya kusema Well, it's 19 minutes. Is it 20 minutes after 1 a.m. East African time? We are on the long stretch. Please, let's engage. I salute everyone. Songa mbele. Mr. Wangira, you make your submission. Ujaangazia swala la nini hela ya county, and then of course you did well on the Maina Wanjigi issue. I think that is settled.
Okay, thank you. I want just to respond to my sister. You know, I'm missing her initials, Bernard. Why am I missing her initials? Let me just respond to my sister.
It's called PGR.
Yeah, let me just respond to my sister. Bernard, you know, even this issue of Muguka, Bernard, is all about our national values and principles of governance. It's nothing else, Bernard. Are we living within what we believe in? Are we living within what we promulgated on the 27th of August 2010, Bernard? That's the question, Bernard. Because, it's not a secret, Bernard, that, Muguka is messing up the young people in this country, Bernard. It's not a secret. Everybody knows that it is messing up young people. And, the only way, Bernard, to fight Muguka is to adhere to what I told you, the national values and principles of governance. Bernard, for example, today, and I've written it on my Facebook page, where Musalia Mudavadi, says that, we are losing around 600 million shillings annually, Bernard, in corruption. 600 million shillings in corruption, Bernard. Then just yesterday, Mbadi was saying that we need to introduce...
Mr. Wangira, just a moment, Mr. Wangira. That's an understatement because Uhuru Kenyatta, the president, confirmed is 2 billion per day. 16 million a year, 600 million a year, that is an understatement. Where is the 2 billion per day?
Sorry. Thank you for your correction. It's not 600 million. It's 600 billion shillings in a year. That's what Musalia Mudavadi said. And there's a gentleman who has commented on my Facebook. If you find time, you will go there. And he has said that it could be up to even 1 trillion shillings in a year. That's the amount of money that Bernard we are losing through corruption. And just yesterday, the new CS for Treasury, John Buddy, was saying that we need to introduce 49 clauses of the former finance bill, Bernard, for purposes of raising 150 billion shillings. So if we are losing 600 billion shillings in a year, Bernard, do we need to come up with new revenue raising measures? Or should we be fighting corruption? These are things that are ailing this country. And unfortunately, we don't want, to bite the bullet. And we want just to engage in what I've told you is a rat race. And so long as we don't want to bite the bullet and we only want to engage into a rat race, we are not going to get anywhere. We are not going to get anywhere. There are countries that have, for example, banned Mira. They have said that Mira is a disaster and will not allow Mira into our jurisdiction. What is so hard by saying that we are going to ban Muguka in this country and encourage Muguka farmers in Embu and Tharaka Nithi to engage into alternative cropping? Must we grow Muguka for what I would call political expedience so that, we can please a particular voting bloc? That's what I call, getting into what is a rat race. And I repeat, and I say, nobody is perfect, and you'll never get a human being who is perfect. There's no human being is perfect. We had Jomo Kenyatta as first president. He was not perfect 100%. We had Daniel Arap Moi as president. He was not perfect 100%. We had Mwai Kibaki as president. He had his issues. We have had Uhuru Kenyatta as president. He has had his issues. And we have William Samoei Ruto as president today, who also has his issues. And the only way to police a human being is through what I'll call, the rule of law. And that's why we have the Constitution. For example, William Samoei Ruto is president of the Republic of Kenya today. There's nothing we can do about it. He's the president. But, it is within our rights as the people of Kenya to ensure that, William Samoei Ruto operates within the rule of law. That is our responsibility. That we ensure that he operates within the rule of law. It is our responsibility as the people of Kenya. It is. It is our responsibility to see that, he adheres to Chapter 6 of the Kenyan 2010 Constitution. It is our responsibility. It is the responsibility of our members of parliament, both the National Assembly and the Senate, to impeach him if they feel that, he's not adhering to the Constitution. So, we have measures to deal with any human beings. With any human being who becomes the president of the Republic of Kenya. But unfortunately, we are not putting these measures into force. And so long as we are not putting these measures into force, we'll continue having a problem. And there's what we call a trickle-down effect. There's the president. Then below him there is the deputy president. Below the deputy president, I believe there are the governors. Then below the governors, there are the senators. There are members of parliament. There are MCSs. Then coming down, these are people who are supposed to be checked on. But unfortunately, we have been unable, to check them using the 2010 Constitution. And so long as we are not checking them, and when they misbehave, we go on supporting them even where we know they are misbehaving, then as a country, we'll continue having problems. We'll continue having problems and problems, What we must ensure, and I repeat, we must ensure that we, as a country, it does not matter whether it's me as an ordinary person, whether it's the president of the republic. Every person who is in this jurisdiction, whether a citizen or a foreigner, so long as you are in the jurisdiction called Kenya, you must adhere, Bernard, to the Kenyan 2010 Constitution. Bernard, you must. So I told you the other time that we have a very good manual, Bernard, a very, very good manual, Bernard, in the form of the 2010 Constitution. But unfortunately, Bernard, we don't want to use the manual, Bernard. Assuming that, Bernard, you have bought a good TV, a smart TV. Nowadays, you guys buy good smart TVs, Bernard. And you inside the smart TV, Bernard, there's that manual thing that is directing you how to put it on, how to put it off, how to update the software, blah, blah, blah. Bernard, and you decide to disregard the manual and you go for something else that is not the manual, Bernard. Will that TV work? Will that TV work? It will not work. And that's where we are as a country. We have disregarded the manual that is our 2010 Constitution, Bernard, and we have gone for something else, Bernard. And that's why we are in the quagmire that we are in as a country. And that's why, Muguka can be sold in Mombasa, even when, we know that Muguka is a problem. That's why, we can complain the way Musalia Mudavadi is complaining about 600 billion shillings being stolen every year, and, nothing can be done about it. Because we don't want to adhere to our manual, which is the 2010 Constitution, Bernard. Let me just stop there. Thank you. Bernard, you had asked me something and I just forgotten. The issue of about, the county government, it goes down to what I've told you, corruption, so long as we are a corrupt country, Bernard, we're not raised enough, Bernard, to take down to the counties. And again, Bernard, when we look at the county government, there's what we call own revenue. Your own revenue. But you remember when we were the county, before we moved into what we call the 2010 Constitution, and we came up with what we call the devolved structure. We used to have what we used to call the county councils, the city councils, the municipal councils, Bernard. And majority of them, Bernard, used to generate their own revenue. I remember Port Victoria used to be a town council that time, and they could generate their own revenue, Bernard. However, literally it was, Bernard, and it could be seen, Bernard. What has happened with this thing called own revenue by county government? Because we are not seeing the own revenue by county government. What we are seeing them complaining about, Bernard, is the 15% that is supposed to come from, the national cake. But they are not telling us, Bernard, whether they are generating their own revenue, Bernard. And it's all about corruption, nothing else. Let me just stop there.
Okay, thank you, Wanongira. I think there is, I would say, something out of joint with the implementation of the 2010 Constitution on matters revenue. Okay, because I understand there is revenue that the county government collect on behalf of the national government, and then there is revenue that the county government can use directly without the national government, and then of course the 15% that is dispatched from the national government is the main income for running of the day-to-day activities of the county. And so,
Bernard, correction. Bernard, just a small correction.
Yes.
There is no revenue that a county government collects on behalf of national government. There is none. All that I know is that, the county government can obligate KRA to collect revenues on its behalf. The way, the county government of Nairobi had done, it had instructed, the KRA to collect revenue on its behalf. But, county government do not collect any revenue on behalf of the national government. And that's why, Bernard, I'm raising this question of their own revenue. Where do their own revenue go when they're supposed to be collecting their own revenue?
No problem, no problem. Mr. Wangira, assuming you are a county government official, okay? You work for Busia County, all right? Where does your pay to earn go? Does it go to the county or goes to the national government?
Bernard, now those are what we call statutory deductions. Those are statutory deductions. Even the county government employee will, even a national government employee will end up paying statutory deduction, and the employer will collect that. That's taxed, Bernard. It's not revenue. It's not revenue. That's tax, and it's statutory. What we call statutory deduction, Bernard. Just like NHIF, just like NSSF,
I don't have a problem with that. That's money being collected or being deducted. So is it deducted and goes to national government or it goes to county government? That's what I want, not the name. Where does that money go?
My understanding is that the money would go to the national government. It would go to KRA, Kenya Revenue Authority. But these are statutory deductions. It's not revenue that is being generated. We are talking about revenue, Bernard. When we talk about own revenue, we talk about revenue that is being generated by a county government. We are not talking about statutory deductions. I want you to get the difference between.
You are dwelling in grammar. The simplest way for a layman to understand is deductions, okay, or collection. For example, there is what they call seat sales, or the transportation fee, market fee, market licenses, and all that. So they are those directly go straight to the county government, like they used to go to the municipal government or city, wherever, city council. But now, the percentage of that in terms of the entire county budget, how much of that revenue services the budget of the county? Is it sizable enough so that the county can be independent? Like I am now told that Wazingishu was the one leading in terms of their revenue, closer to over 900 million. I think they are about. Now, that's one of the things that informed the wherever the lifting of the status of Eldoret into a city, that the collections in the place and the population in the place is sufficient to construct to make it a city, and then it will be now entitled to what the national government gives in terms of supporting the cities around the country. And so there has to be a clear cut of not just go and collect revenue. The national government was once running this entire country. What was their role in ensuring that each county has sufficient supply in terms of the paying of the workers and the keeping of the running of the affairs of that particular section, and how much compared to what they release and what is being collected, is it commensurate, or is just mtoto akilia wembe mpe, jitafutie hela vile mnataka na kama mpate hela shaurieni? Is that how to make county government function?
let me respond this way, Bernard. First, anytime I listen to governors speak, they will only be addressing, the 15%, that is supposed to be their share between the national government and the county government. They're only talking about the 15%. You'll hardly hear, a governor talk about own revenue. For example, you come from Kakamega. Every time you listen to Barasa speaking, he'll be talking about the 15%. But he never tell you anything about own revenue. What happens about own revenue? Bernard, we are 14 years after we promulgated our 2010 constitution. 14 years is a long time. A child who was born 14 years ago, Bernard, is in Form 1 today. Bernard, in 14 years, if you are a county government, you are supposed to have been empowered enough to collect enough revenue, whereby if you add what you are getting from national government in form of the 15% division of revenue and what you are collecting as a county government, that Bernard should be enough for you to run your county government comfortably. But what are we seeing? We are seeing a scenario where, the issue of own revenue does not seem to appear anywhere. The only thing that we are hearing about, Bernard, is about the 15%. Today we are being told, Bernard, that, county government cannot pay staff. We are being told that, there are members of staff in some county government who have gone for up to even 6 months, Bernard, without earning their salaries. How is that happening, Bernard? How is that happening? Bernard, let me just give you a county like Nairobi. How much money that the county of Nairobi collects in form of on the rates?
Usaongira umezimiwa. Fix your net. Thank you very much. Sylvester nauliza, what is the cost of an ID? Birth certificate, passport, and how long does it take to receive it? Basic government services. Don't even go there. Okay, the ID is 1,000 shillings, and it has a lifespan of 10 years. Birth certificate, passport, they are at various costs. I think the passport has been moved from 4,000 to 7,000, the basic one. The other one should be 15 or what. We can confirm that from eCitizen. But applying for it is one thing. Getting it is disaster. Innocent alikuwa hapa akisema yake ali-apply September. Na mpaka saa hii hajawahi fika September, ingine ndio imefika. So it is, we are actually just dealing with a failed system of governance. That's no doubt. We are racing back to those days wile ulikuwa na police station, unapewa abstract uende kufotokopi, urudi na kadhaa usaidie police in case somebody else will come to report a matter. I think before Mami comes in, Mr. Wangira, you can prosecute your case briefly tukisonga hivyo.
I just want to finish in a minute so that we allow Mami to come in. So I was telling you that, we have a serious governance problem in this country, Bernard. A serious governance problem. Bernard, we would be happy, Bernard, one day when I wake up and, I hear, for example, the county government of Nairobi saying that, the amount of money that we have collected as own revenue is enough to run the budget of Nairobi in one given year. And this year, Bernard, we are forfeiting our 15% share to the national government so that the national government can use that particular amount of money to do something else, Bernard. We need to arrive at that level where counties can now tell the national government that this year, because of our own revenue, Bernard, we have been in a position to raise enough to undertake all our projects. And, what was supposed to have been our share can be used at national government to do something else. But are we saying that? We are not saying that. Why? Bad governance. Because, Bernard, the level of corruption in this county government, Bernard, is at a level that has never been seen before. Look at the people who are putting up the best of houses in the villages today. Go to your village, even in Kakamega. Look at the people who are putting up the best of the houses today, Bernard. The employees of the county government, Bernard. Where are they getting money to put up the best of houses, Bernard? They are stealing from us. They are stealing from us. And Bernard, unless we handle this issue of governance, Bernard, and that's why, Bernard, I'm reducing I don't want even to blame an individual. And that's why nowadays I don't blame William Ruto. I don't blame Raila Odinga. I don't blame people individually. I want to look at the problem wholesale. Where is the problem, Bernard? I try looking at the problem wholesale. We have a governance problem, Bernard, here, which is a wholesale problem, and we must deal with this wholesale. Let me just stop there and allow Mami to come.
Banangira, before that, the county government is not demanding revenue from the central government for the sake of it. One, the law stipulates it. Two, the services that the county government is rendering, like healthcare, agriculture, and the other were once run by the central government. Why is the central government releasing the service but not the money for the service? That's where the tussle is. If I used to pay doctors, okay, and now you want me to pay doctors, all right, you have handed the doctors to me. You should give me the money for the doctors. But you want to keep the money for the doctors and you hand the doctors to me. You want doctors to lynch me?
Bernard, I am in agreement with you fully, 100%. I'm in agreement with you fully that when it comes to their share of 15%, they should be given their share of 15%. But my problem is only one, Bernard, when it comes to their own revenue. They are not being accountable when it comes to their own revenue. And that's where my problem is.
Own revenue is not audited.
Bernard, even the way their own revenue is being collected, the loopholes, Bernard, in the collection of own revenue, Bernard, encourages corruption. Look at Nairobi. Bernard, do you know who collects? Do you know the person who collects revenue on behalf of the county of Nairobi? If the MCS of Nairobi don't know the person who normally collects, the revenue on behalf of the county of Nairobi, do you know him? And why is it a secret, Bernard? Why is it a secret? Why is it a secret?
Wewe bwana Wangira, inaonekana unataka job ya revenue collection. Lakini sikilia hapo. Mama, karibu tafadhali. Tuanze kuchunga muda, saa 8 iko karibu kufika.
Yes, Bernard. Mambo ya, wacha niseme mambo kidogo ya county government. Kuna ile pesa, Bernard, they raise, but inaenda national government. Tuseme kama like Nakuru, for example. It's supposed to be for Nakuru, but unakuta ni national government inachukua, inarutisha kidogo. Sema like all these parts, Transmara. That is what we are saying. Ya kwamba national government wanachukua pesa, alafu wanarutisha kidogo. So Wangira, these people from the county, the 15% ile walitaka, wako na mambo mingi. Na actually ukiangalia sahi Bernard, wakati tulifata counties, kuna mambo kidogo mingi imefanyika kwa counties kuliko vile tulikuwa tunangoja national government. Ile kitu tungesema ni kwamba kwa nini national government wanachukua pesa Bernard, alafu inakuwa ngumu kurutisha chini? Kwa sababu the counties, they pay their employees, wanafanya mambo yao. So wakipatiwa ile 15% wanakawanyia kulipa kwa sababu wako na mahitaji. So what I would say is, wakati tulipata 2010 constitution, tungepatiwa counties 35, alafu iende mpaka wards. It was meaningful, Bernard, but shida ni ya kwamba tumesahau wale watu wako kwa uongozi wakati wa leo hawakutaka hiyo mambo ya devolution, and they are ready to kill it. Bernard, Hakuna vile unaletewa mtoto nyumba yako na uko na yako na unaambiwa ulee hiyo mtoto. You will make sure yako amekula zaidi, ule mwingine anaendelea kukonda. Wangira, nobody is following constitution in Kenya. Kama wangekuwa wanafuata tungekuwa mbele sana. And I like you because unataka sana kukumbusha hii watu mambo ya katiba. Lakini you are telling the people walitupa kitambo hata wataki kujua, na unless ndio sababu watu wengi walikuwa nasema baba mwenye alikuwa anapigania devolution angechukua hiyo serikali, angechua bila angelea mtoto yake. Lakini sasa kwa sababu ni mtu mwingine alikuja, we don't know even after 2027 devolution will be there or no. So mimi kwangu Penat, sioni kwa nini pesa iende national government na inatoka kwa counties Penat. All these monies inatoka kwa counties. Kama ni national government wangekuwa na pesa yao bila kutuindafia, yes, tungeuliza pesa ya national government itupatie. But Penat, how can you come and collect the resources from me and then now unaniambia tena hiyo resources ni yako, mimi nikuje nikuombe? I don't know how even Kenyans walifikiria Penat. Utanisaidia hapo, mali ni yako, unachukua, ikifika mwisho I don't have access to my money, lazima nikuombe, and then you control it. Kama mambo ya masiwa, kama mambo ya kahawa, kama mambo ya mchele, everything inatoka county, inatoka huko chini Penat. How does it come that the national government is controlling everything? Hii watu tunawaandika huko juu, treasury, KRA, inarokota pesa yetu, alafu inakuwa ni yao. But I think the money is coming from the counties and up to huko inaitwa nini? What, Penat? So are we really genuine? Kwa nini tulikubali kitu kama hiyo? You get my money and then sasa kunipatia ni shida. Nimekama masiwa yangu asubuhi Penat, nimekuletea kwa barabara, alafu sasa nikitaka hiyo masiwa hata sipati, na nikikataa kukuletea utaniuliza nini? Thank you.
Okay, so asante sana Mama Selina, we appreciate that. It's the mystery of our operation as a country. That's why I agree with Wangira on the issue of governance. Kwanza kabisa, the purpose of devolution was development. It was not getting somebody a car and a flag. It was development. What projects are there that are ensuring that the county is moving forward? Like Busia County, the roads that belong to the county, have they been done? The schools, have they been maintained? Have they added new schools? Do we have better infrastructure? If those things are not happening, then they don't even need that money. They should not be asking for the money. And so the purpose of devolution needs to be upheld and, of course, retained for all that are participating into that to really, appear to be doing what is supposed to be done. Lakini kama ni kumaintain tu, nataka kulipa wafanyikazi na kumaintain magari na kuzunguka zunguka in the name of your governor, and you have a 5-year contract to run the affairs of the county, that's abuse of office. That's why they need to be, scrutinized. All in all, let's listen to Bishop Muheria, alafu tumlete Daudi aseme moja mbili tunapoanza kufunga dakika 10 kufika saa 8 masaa Afrika Mashariki.
We also want to use this opportunity to remind all those in leadership that they have a sacred duty to follow the demands of the people of Kenya and to follow the demands of God for honesty, for integrity. They must listen. It is not an option. Listen to the cry of goodness, of uprightness, that we need better and committed persons in leadership who believe in God and believe in God's laws and believe that stealing is a sin. People who believe that people have dignity and they cannot be wished away in their dignity. The dignity of life, the dignity of the young people.
Okay, there you go. Daudi vipi? Bwana David, are you still there? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wangira, kama una la kuongezea. Mimi nataka kucheza video fulani hapa alafu tuna
Okay. Okay, let's.
Yes, Bwana David.
Yes.
How are you?
Salama, siku mingi lakini. Salama wewe?
Wewe ukajificha, ulihepa maandamano?
Maandamano ileta mambo mingi, tukajua mengi, tukasoma mengi. So ilikuwa ni kufunguana macho pia.
Sawa.
Kienda maandamano kuwa mtu wa kutafutwa pia. Anyway, so you guys have talked a lot, good things, and I like it the way now you have brought it to where we're supposed to be talking about. Ile ingine nilikuwa na boeka tu. Anyway, Wangira, thank you for your consistency and always talk about the constitution. But the challenge we have is this: we have the counties, and we have the knowledge of the former system. You remember, Bernard? Yesterday you talked about the dispensaries, which we know. We grew about we grew over this. That you go to hospital, the dispensary, you have a card in your, on your leg. You go there, they, showed you tetanus. They tie you. Right now, what we have in those so-called counties, level 4, there's nothing, no medicine. They just write a note, go buy the medicine. We don't have. They just. So we have a problem. Now the problem is, I think, is the citizens. That citizen awareness, I think, is. That's why I feel like I had to bring this to your desk. You are part of the people who can, you meet these people. And, you're doing your part. But I'm just saying, like, church leaders, please educate people. Now we are not on those dispensaries. They are the people to demand this. MCA. Have you seen anywhere people are holding MCA accountable? No. But we are so worried about opposition, what they are doing, or the leader opposition, that the government is running. You'll be surprised. They don't even know their MP. Whatever was passed to your county, up to your constituency, they don't demand that. You may be sitting there, okay, they are, that the high demand, whatever they pass in parliament, they agree, hey, this is more needed, they vote. Your MP, you're supposed to hold them accountable. And more so, there's MCA. Do citizens know that? I don't think they know that. They are supposed to demand every ward to have a count hall with the MCA. Whatever comes with the MCA, this is not for us, it is for national government. Okay, take it to the governor, right? They have the governor's council. Don't you think we're supposed to educate these people? Then the young people who are educated, they have any on their fingertips. Right now, I see them, okay, we are fighting for this, but at the same time, all this corruption, you hear all this. People should sit down and find out who is this in the ministry. Okay, it's the Minister of Tourism, but who are the people there? Minister comes there fresh. There are people who have been there for 40 years. Now, some of them, they are big shots. They call shots. Yeah, wait, if you don't do what I'm saying, he's going to fail. And they throw you under the bus. Those are the people I think we should focus on. Now, we detail who is working here, who is the senior most person. Who is this? What is the committee there? Hold these people accountable, Mr. Wagira, right? Like Minister of Health. There are all those departments until every county, they have their own. Do we know who works there? Who are they? They are living lavishly, but he works for the ministry. But they are the people calling shots, milking money. They are part of the corruption. Because I don't think a minister can just come here and order people. If they don't get their fair share, they're going to throw him under the bus, right? So I think we need more citizen awareness. And unfortunately, Baba's government, we were ready to put it to the right. Even just a head lady, if somebody sleeps angry there, he was about to die, you'll be held accountable. What are you doing? Because you are there service to the people. But what we have now, we have to wake up, all of us, everybody, do your part. But unfortunately, Kenyans, we are fond of shortcuts. Even if you go there, and by the way, I'm in a rush. Hey, hello, hey. Somebody cast a line right in front of you. You think he was just saying something? Oh, no. He wanted to be served. He just came behind you and almost say nothing. Get in the matatu, they put an extra thing there. You are squeezing yourself. Oh, you don't have a car. Okay, you want to sit comfortable by your own car. That is the mentality. So, I don't know. We blaming the politicians, but we ourselves, I think we love shortcuts. If you ask somebody, how much is this? The first thing they ask you, how much you want? How much you want to pay? How much you have? I'm asking you, how much is it? Then he tells you some crazy figure, then, so how much did you have? Dishonesty, shortcuts, if you didn't know, okay, it's 1,000. This thing you find is $100. Then you pay 1,000 because he told me it's 1,000. So, Bernard, we need more awareness other than finger pointing. Everybody look himself or herself. What am I doing on my part? Even talking here, awaken people. I love what the Gen Z did, but I want them to go extra mile. Now, go to those institutions. Who is working there? Because everywhere I walk, I make sure I know who is making this line sit here. Oh, he went for lunch, but it's past the lunch. No, he just went here. Where? Is it 10 o'clock in the morning? So, guys, we have to hold each other accountable. We admire people, other countries, but they hold each other. We are each other watchmen. Now, what you're doing is illegal. This is wrong. So, with the Jimmy Wanjigi is deeper than you guys know, so I cannot bring that up. But to me, I'll just say briefly, is a part of the Kahoot. He said himself, if the government was formed in his house, Mama Selina, remember, she said that, because it was a public. Doing that, then he was running, supporting UDA. You remember? He was hosting his Safina party, whatever he calls it, right? They were there with the Ruto. So me, I don't feel sorry for him. He just deal gone sour, and mafias, that's how it goes. Himself, he was disqualified. Why? He didn't have the legit papers. Am I lying? He was kicked out of the yes. So please don't let people. No. Yeah, but I don't want Kenya to be fooled by somebody go there the TV giving stories. Why were you disqualified? Nobody even has those the mainstream media. Why were you disqualified there with all this knowledge and all that? But now he come in sensational stories. Yes, some of them he says is true. That's how Kenya was scammed. But himself, if he had the right papers with all this, but he didn't have the papers. He was so shy of another Sakaja. So guys, let's just wake up, like you always say. Let's wake up. Let's be focused and educate each other. Just share whatever you know, but yourself do the right thing first. Start with yourself. And when somebody does something wrong, no, you can't cross here. No, you can't cross here. All right? I'm sorry.
All right, Bernard David, thank you. Thank you. I think that is sufficient and actionable. Wakenya tukubali we are part of the problem. Na
Yes.
tunapenda shortcuts. We want to bargain where we shouldn't. I want to take advantage of people's ignorance. Genuine business is no longer being done where somebody, a shopkeeper, took the interest of the customer, ensuring that they get their items are right. There was a time I had an experience. There is a supermarket where I pick things. So there was this time I picked bread, then got in the house only to discover the bread is expired, not by date. It had developed molds. So I went back to the supermarket and I called for the supervisor. And to my disbelief, the supervisor asked me why I took bread without checking the date whether it has not expired. So I asked him, why are you putting things on the shelf? You want to sell to us when they have expired, and you are relying on us to check whether the date is current or not. As long as something is on the shelf, I assume that you have my interest at heart and you will put only what is valid. And so Kenyans are very, cunning in terms of when it comes to following due process and safeguarding the welfare of the unsuspecting clients, which is very wrong. We must go back to being ethical and do what is required for the safety of this great country. I will now bring in Wangira to give his last word. But before that, there is this to whom as you come
So Nation of Africa released an article today, and it says that the classified files reveal how 5 of the imprisoned independence heroes, known as the Kapingura 6, were paid monthly fees and enjoyed relative comfortable but restricted life that will have made any African civil servant in the colonial service jealous. They also went further and said that leaked prison letter that earned Kenyatta 2,353 shillings salary comfort in that space. And if you convert the then money, 100 shillings in 1960 will translate to 33,639 shillings in 2024. So if you convert 2353 in that space, you'll find that it turns out to 791,000 Kenya shillings in 2024. Mind you, a Kenyan member of parliament earns 725,000 gross salary right now. So it means that Kenyatta was earning more than a member of parliament while he was incarcerated.
So, Bernard.
Yes.
Yeah, just to concur what you said. So you see now they throw in the mistake is you. Makosa ni yako. But only thing, it was not expired. But they didn't put it in the right conditions. Maybe it was too hard and the bread will sweat because in the that plastic bag and all that. But they put it in the the pan, there's the AC or whatever, it cools down, increase the mold. But it's their responsibility to make this is delicate milk, you cannot put in the sun. The label doesn't mean much. Label is good, but you don't put the milk or the bread in the right condition. That is their job. Yours is to come and look, the date is okay, buy it. So this is where I'm saying we ourselves. Now, when you went there to speak, if somebody was around, what was their reaction? If I can ask, what was their reaction? It's his fault. Look, I look, even the slices, if there's something in there. That's not the way. They're supposed to raise the alarm. Oh, maybe I've been eating the bread because I don't even look like him. He looked. I buy it in the evening, and by the time I wake up, the kids' breakfast, boo, boo, boo. Oh, my house help does it. Maybe he doesn't want to wake me up. The bread is bad. You see? So we have to know what we want as people. We want the best. We have to behave the best. And question things. Me, I like to hear things like that. Myself, I see something, I go there. Then they put the blame on you. This thing was on the shelf. You see the date is okay, but the thing looked bad, right? So we have to hold each other accountable. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernard David. We appreciate that. Mr. Wangira, in a minute or so, please.
Okay, let me just wind up as we close. Then I think, for a long time, this has been one of the most issue-based, sessions that I've taken part in. because, you know, most of the sessions that I've taken part in here have been about personality. And let me congratulate you for today's session. And perhaps, you know, let us have more of issue-based sessions than issues that are personality-based, Bernard. And again, for the first time, I tend to agree with everybody here, including Mama Selina, that I hardly agree with here on many of the issues that you people have raised, Bernard. And all these issues, Bernard, come down to what I call governance. For example, if you are a national government, Bernard, and you know that you have a county government, why should you retain monies that are supposed to go to county government at the national government, Bernard? This is a governance issue. It's a serious governance issue that, you know, you cannot devolve a function and you want to retain the monies at the national government. You know, it cannot work like that. You know, because we are told that, you know, money follows functions. Immediately you devolve a function, then money must follow it. But we have a scenario in this country where, you know, you want to devolve a function, but you don't want, you know, that money to follow that function. For example, why are we still having Kara, Kura? What are these things doing, Bernard? Where we know very well that, you know, there are roads that are county roads and there are roads that are government roads, Bernard. You know, it's very, very easy. You know, you can, you know, the 47 counties can come together and they form one authority that will be a county authority in charge of their roads. Then the national government can form an authority in charge of its roads. But, you know, we have a scenario where, you know, the national government is in charge of both, you know, what are supposed to be county roads as it manages, you know, national roads. You know, that's a governance issue, Bernard. So, you know, what we have in this country, Bernard, you know, can just be summed up in in 2 or 3 words as, you know, a governance issue. If we can tackle our governance in this country correctly, Bernard, you know, we will not be where we are today. Finally, on Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, you know, I hope that you'll be reading my book next year, my book, Man Eat Man Society. Bernard, you know, I believe, you know, in 1960, my father was an inspector of police. I don't think when he was inspector of police in 1960, he was earning 2,500 at that time. He was not. How come that Kenyatta, who was in prison, was earning 2,500? And you remember that, you know, when Kenyatta left prison, Bernard, you know, it's the British who built for him the home that is in Gatundu. It was built by the British. Why were the British building a home for a prisoner, Bernard? You know, it can be answered in one word that, you know, they were preparing Kenyatta to become their puppet. You know, the British were preparing Kenyatta to become their puppet, and he became their puppet. And it's the cause of many of the problems that you have in this country today, Bernard. That's how I can sum it up. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Okay, Asante sana Bwana Wangira. Interesting indeed, and a bad place to end. But we'll be picking that conversation.
Bernard, before
Yes.
Wangira goes, can I say something to him, please, if you allow me?
Please do in less than a minute, please.
Wangira,
Yes.
I want to give you some homework because you are very conversant and you are very knowledgeable. And you educate us, and, you know, we are older, but you're a little older than me, I believe. But what I want you to share with your surrounding, and if you make, you know, you get a chance. I don't know how far you are with your MCA, but the town hall, can you insist just to hear, because you're gonna help us. Because what I'm telling Bernard is to insist on those town halls. Let those people hear what somebody will say, I slept hungry and all that. Do you think that can help Mr. Wangira? Because what you are saying is good, but the problem, you don't know why the money is being taken up and not coming easily. There is something, but I don't want to go that because I don't want to put myself in a predicament. Why you see money is delayed? Money, no, listen. Money was lost. This. They collect. It's a chain. All that you're mentioning, duplication and all that. Why could I wear this? People are just sharing. Okay. When they move the money up, you think it was moved or whatever they collected. Somebody hold it there. So now he had to overlap because the guy on the top, that money had to be run to make some profit. Please, let's have the truth town halls, MCA, let them be held accountable. Assistant chief, please, let's educate the people so that they know. You're going there to sell your goat. You have to pay whatever. You put your burgers out there, you have to pay every single day. You have a shop, you have to pay your license, you have to come, inspection comes in, one product is expired, what's the fine? You pay them right there. It don't go to the top, it goes to that person's pocket, and then you rectify your things. So guys, we have to enlighten the people to get to know, hey, these hours to be vigilant. Just they vote, that's okay, we start with this for the next 5 years. No, we can get services. Right now, Wangita, if you allow me, do you know not everybody needs roads? Some places just need a Gambian just to cross over. Some of them they sit on rivers. Some of them they need just like a walk bridge. Not a car bridge, walk bridge. Some of them need very minute things. But you hear these people, MCA, MP, opulence, they are displaying, chase cars. So I'm sorry, I don't want to take too much, but I just gave you an homework. Please give us some time, you give us a feedback. Just town hall meeting, when the MCA is around, you are very intelligent, man. Just ask those questions. It will be very, very important for us and the rest of the country, to get to know, do people know this? And these people who are called MCAs, let them know not everyone is foolish. Like we just hold an ID and a voter's card. We know what you're supposed to do. You are not doing it. That way they know they are on the way out. Even there, you give them an example. These people, they just need a toilet in this school. Now, whatever you're running around with here.
Brother David, we
Okay.
must call it a day, please. Thank you. Mr. Wangira, you want to respond in half a minute, please?
I will do. Bernard, the issue of town hall, Bernard, is a good challenge, and I'll throw it to Sound Candid Talk, Bernard. Why can't you think of incorporating, the town hall meetings, Bernard, as part of our strategy? We can conduct it once in a month or perhaps once in 2 months, Think about it. Then if you can think about it, then perhaps some of us can put our input there and we see how best we can go about it, Bernard.
So that has been suggested, was suggested by Maunga here. I tried to do it during using my church influence, but it didn't pick up well. Okay, we did like 3 of them, and it was on voluntary, as in a church will accept to host the program, and then so we had like 3 different denominations did that. And then thereafter, nobody called again, so we kind of stepped back. But it is workable. I appreciate it, and I'm sure it's a very vibrant aspect. I think let's draw. We can meet and withdraw out, because I'm thinking of dwelling more with students, those education institutions, people who still have got have a long life in Kenya and would want Kenya fixed. That is a better solution than us giving it a general approach that may not necessarily fix whatever that is wrong or prepare the people for the future. What we really need is the civic education that it gives a permanent solution to a perpetual problem in the country. And that can only be realized by us ensuring that we don't spill the problem of our, let's say, our tribalism to the younger generation so that they perpetuate it like our forefathers did. We can put a stop to that by ensuring that we remain factual and reach out. So let's see how it plays out. I'm talking to different institutions. I don't mind going to any institution, but we will also need funding for it. But let it play out first. And on that note, I want us to call it a day. And before we call it a day, I need $35 to pay StreamYard. We're already in the red. If we don't pay, maybe by tomorrow tutakuwa tumenyamazishwa. So use those details in the comment section. Tuma
Bernard,
mchango yako.
Bernard.
Yeah.
Hiyo kuzungumza ndio kuelewana, Waswahili wasema. So whatever Wangira have said, it makes sense because even himself in his word, if he calls like let's go to the town hall, call the MCA, people have been in political, they think you're coming with the money. Even yourself, your approach is very good. Go with those institution young people because we don't want to bring the other people thinking you're looking for a seat, so you have to give us something. We came here to listen to you. This is yes. So your intervention, both of you, it makes sense. So we have to keep on talking. So we fine tune this. Then we take off. We know we are moving forward. These people, you instill this to them. Let's prepare for the future. We can't keep on doing this. Come here, Bernard came with the money. Wangera he called the village. So they think Wangera is supposed to come with 100 shillings for everybody, the lowest, right? So I like this conversation, but people have to understand. We have to hold these people accountable.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Probably I will wish to respond to here as a close. Nimeona nani huyu? 1, 2.
My right,
Just a
Wangela,
moment.
I don't want to throw you under the bus. People will be thinking you're coming with a bag of money, right?
No, we'll work out. We'll work out. I think not everybody is like that, but we'll fix. Our politics has been spoiled by money, but that does not mean it's permanently destroyed. There is Wu Filandu hapa anasema was Raila right or wrong to remember Kijana Wamalo was the legit leader after Oginga Odinga retired from politics. So he says history repeats itself. Raila once upon a time tried to oust Kijana Wamalwa from being the leader of Ford Kenya. Is it true or false? Kenya nchi nzuri, hakuna matata.
Bernard, Bernard, what I want to say is this, okay?
Yes.
Enough of the blame game. I want we're gonna pick up issues, okay? Everybody have an issue with the topic. Let's pick up issues. Even if we're gonna change the topic, so long as we are speaking issues. But these politics of personal tribe and whatever people insult yesterday, I think it was yesterday, all that people the reason why I've been down because I was insulted here. I can call my young brothers, and you look at it like, why do we have to go there? But yourself, that's why I saw my text here. We restrain yourself. Don't get worked up, personal. For what? We're talking about the country, right, and the people. So please, let's not go back again to this.
We are not going back. We are not going back. And I just wanted to raise that up.
Yeah, I was watching. I was there.
To put it in perspective, there is what Green says here. We support and pray for Ruto as he leads Kenya, and we wait until 2032. Now, what I hear in all this is that whatever that is happening is cast into stone. It has to be that way. That does not meet up with even the natural law. Okay? Nobody is sure of their tomorrow. So why are we even overstretching to 2032? Who knows where we'll be in 2032? What we need is let's focus on what to do to fix the country and move forward. And that is what I want each one of us to embrace, that the possibility of change must remain within view, not for us to to throw in the towel and begin to say it is over, it is finished, there is nothing we can do. Let's keep hitting the rock until it breaks. And the first hammer is as good as the last hammer. Don't surrender the country in the hands of bad leadership for 10 years. How? Nobody does that. Kiatu kikianza kukufinya, unaenda kutafuta size yako. hawezi kusema anavumilia kwa sababu nilinunua hii kiatu na siwezi nunua kiatu ingine
No.
until after 5 years.
Upon.
This
I like that.
country
I
can be
like the way you
done.
give that simple
Yes.
example. So what I'm
Yeah.
the same what you're saying. So I like you always give that example. Kiatu na kufinya utasema ningojea sasa mpaka hii ishe soul ianze kubend. Hakuna either utembee mguu chuma lakini itaweza. So hii mambo sasa umesema ya 2032. Mimi I don't see 2027. I mean see nabi, but I'm not going there because people are feeling differently. Unajua kuongoza watu, naambia watu kuongoza watu si kuongoza mbuzi upeleka kwa kichaka, ni watu. Unaona? Na watu wanaongoza vile mnakubaliana. Kiswahili sanifu. Kutoka Mwafrika tulikuwa na kijiji, kuna mambo unajua hufai kufanya. Na hata kama unakuwa ni mkubwa fulani uko na nini, kama watu wamekataa, hata wale unasikia tu wananungunika, unashinda ai ni nini? Nasikia ninaongea na watu wanaongea ni nini? So huwezi ongoza watu vile unataka. People are led the way they want. That's why we have those constitution. Before, si unakumbuka hata wewe umelewa hiyo wakati. Wazee wanakuja ule mnachukua ukoo na nini wakiongea. Lakini mtu wako na wiki na unapata watu wameanza kupiga story. Na by the way, yule jamaa alikuja kusaidia kulima mlilima because hiyo ni kukuonyesha nini? Unaona? So iko hivyo, unaongoza watu vile wanataka kulingana na mkataba, si vile mtu anataka anasema nitakaa hapa mpaka no. We can revolt even tomorrow. Amka tu hivyo na imelipuka na aturudi kwa nyumba na nini. So let's focus on, are we being served? Are we getting what we agreed on? If we are not getting it, so we have to find a way. So unajua hivyo watu wewe mwenyewe si kuingilia ni idara yako. Si umeona wainjilisti na wapasta wanaongoza watu na njia zao. Mpaka wanakuja wanatimiliwa ukweli? Yes. Alikuwa anasema kanisa ni yangu, lakini you don't hold the people. They walk from their houses to come to you. Come to their location, right? You don't hold them. So people are led where they feel comfortable or their anticipation, their expectation. Lakini utakuja hapo mahubiri yako ni kusomea kukemea mtu fulani ya kutoa kodi ya kufanya nini, same thing in your leadership. Si ni kweli my brother? So we need to wake up those people wajue ni hivyo. Mkataba wewe na Ruto si kwa lazima tu kuandikiana, tunaweza ngeuza. Kwanza yake ni rahisi sana. Nimwambia hapana, na hiyo lazima. Hii kusaidiwa is different. Takuja kueleza in details another time, not right now, but let's keep talking, but never again go back to personality, argument. Me, I feel bad when you're arguing with people. Level-headed, we came this far. Tuanze kusema juu fulani amefanya. Hiyo sio mwisho wa safari. Ni nini mbona itakuwa argument inakuwa Raila amefanya, Kalonzo amefanya. Let's focus. Mother ametoka kule, Azimio imeisha. Azimio ni sisi ama ni hao? Ni watu wangapi tunahesabu? Hata hawafiki 10. So it means we don't know what we want. Hata even they walk away wote. Tunafaa kuwa wenyewe tuko pamoja, tunataka nini? Yes, na tutoe hata kiongozi. Ama
kweli kabisa bwana David. Let's call it a day there.
We are the ones who supported them. Yes. Okay. Sorry, I talked too much. Yeah.
No, thank you for that. It is only that we are in the closing hour. I didn't get somebody to continue with the show, and therefore we have to call it a day, and so that will be safe for the early morning programming. Mzee anaingia saa hii na kuambia leo ni leo. Tuni, wewe ndio unafanya hii revenge kwa sababu ya jana, sio? All in all, wacha tufanye hivi. Let's do this. I'll give opportunity to Jakindube just to greet and say one or two things and we close completely. Unless Kenyan would love unakuja kuendeleza show. Stony PK hajaniongelesha, so sina ile uwezo wa kwa kumzungumzia. Cha muhimu hapa kama vile tumesema, no personality issues. Kuna mambo mengi tu ya kufanya. Na mzee nani anauliza hapa, how can we move on while ODM members are saying there is no more maandamano in Kenya as long as they are in government?
Kwani maandamano ni
kwani maandamano ni lazima?
Bernard, can I answer that?
Kuna njia nyingi ya kuleta mabadiliko.
Bernard, can I answer that? Can I answer that quickly before you summarize? Hiyo mambo ya ODM, hata sisi ni members wa ODM, lakini si ODM imeenda kwa nini? ODM ni sisi followers. When you hear hakuna medicine na nini, idara fulani, tunaenda kwa any institution. Hatuko tunaweza kuandamana useme hey, kama ile liendwa ya watu wa Huba na nini. So watu wa bonda pale tunaona wanabondwa kila saa. Kwani tuweze wekewa bam pale? Haya, hii tunasema serikali imekuwa nini? So now we supposed to be more, tunaandamana sile sasa ya fujo. Hata hizi we can take advantage of this. We focus what we want. Lakini kama watu wanataka ile ya chaos ya kutupiwa tear gas. Sasa mnaandamana mnajaa barabara. Wanaenda wapi? Tunaenda hapa kwa NTSA. NTSA hapa kuna shida juu ya nini? Mmejaa barabara. Shida ni nini? Mmeandika hata. Tunakuja kusalimisha hii karatasi. Na tunaipatia 14 days ama 21 days. Hii issue irekebishwe. Unaona? Hizo ni mambo tunaweza fanya hivyo. Si ile maandamano ya kurutiwa tear gas juu saa hii tumekuwa Kenya ni watu moja. Regardless mwenye yako, lakini services haya daktari ajuange wewe ni wa kutoka wapi. Wewe unaulizanga daktari wako ni wa ODM ama ni wa UDA? Hakuna. It makes sense. So we can keep on protesting, now demanding real issues. Unaona?
Thank you. It is done. It's done, David. Thank you. Michael, nataka tu kukumbusha kwamba Wangare Maathai aliokoa Uhuru Park kutoka kwa Moi. Yeye na wanawake kadhaa walioccupy Uhuru Park. So sio lazima ODM na kila mtu aende kwa street. Kubadilisha serikali na kuleta mabadiliko kunatumika kwa njia tofauti. Tulitoa Isaac Hassan kutoka IBC kwa Monday moja tu, machozi Monday kukaa kwa barabara. So there are many ways. We should not stick to one way and say it has to work like this and that's the only way. There are many ways to kill a rat. Let's deploy whichever way that works. Not to malign and begin to say we are done because this one has done. Like in football, you play the ball, unafika scoring point, unategwa, unaanguka, you come back again. You keep trying until the 90 minutes yields whatever you're looking for. You don't say that nilikuwa number 11. Nilikuwa karibu kuscore. I have to score using number 11. No, there are many numbers. Use whichever that works. Thank you. Jakindube, hali vipi?
Salama sana Bernard. Nilijaribu kuingia mapema lakini nikashindwa kuingia. So nimejaribu mpaka sasa hii nimeingia. Sasa utanisamee tu na hata mimi sitakaa, lakini hii neno la Wanjigi inanikumbusha kuwakumbusha wa Kenya kwamba ukiwa hii nchi bado iko chini ya ukoloni, kwa sababu kama wanasema, sisi tunasema sisi wa Kenya tumesoma, tunafuata sheria, sisi tuko na constitution. Sasa constitution gani ambayo tunasema tunayo? Ndio maana sitaki saa zingine mtu anasema ati lazima tufuate constitution. Tunafuata constitution gani? Hata sheria gani tunafuata? Kama koti ishasema kwamba koti ilisema Ruto ameshinda, tukaheshimu hiyo. Sasa unaona vile Wakenya wako double standard. Koti tayari imesema huyo jamaa hafai kushikwa, na hata kumshika sioni kwa nini anashikwa. Unamshika mtu kama huyo hata kama alikuwa ana bunduki. Hizo bunduki ni serikali ilimpatia hizo certificate. Kama serikali imechukua hizo, si wamuite tu kotini. Simple. Ya nini ku waste time ya polisi ya kwenda kushika mtu ambaye anatii sheria badala ya kuangalia wahalifu? Sasa hiyo kuonyesha kwamba tuko na serikali ambayo sio serikali ambayo inafuata constitution, na serikali sio ya kufuata sheria. Hii ni serikali ya kikoloni. Hawa ni wakoloni. serikali ya kikoloni. Vile tu Kenyatta vile alikuwa anafanya, ndio Moi alikuwa anafanya, ndio Kibaki amefanya, ndio Uhuru alikuwa anafanya. Hata hawa na watu wote wa Kenya, sisi wote tuko tu na bado mafikara ya kikoloni. Ndio maana vitu kama hizi zinatendeka, kwa sababu kama Wanjigi ameshikwa namna hii kwa njia ya kipumbavu namna hii, sisi wote wa Kenya ilikuwa inatakiwa tutoke barabarani, tuende tuambie polisi, fungueni huyu jamaa, hatutaki kuonea mtu. Kwa sababu ifikiria kama Wanjigi anafanyiwa hivyo na mtu mdogo tu, mtu kama mimi, kweli naweza kuwa na karatasi ya koti wakasikiliza. Hata wakitaka kuchukua gari yangu watachukua tu, hata wakitaka kuchukua nyumba yako watachukua tu, na koti ishasema si yao. So hiyo ni kwa sababu tuko chini ya ukoloni. Ndio maana mimi, maoni yangu, hii serikali ni lazima tuifanyie overhaul. Hii mambo ya kusema ati sijui tutafuata sijui nini, hakuna. Hawa watu wote wameoza, kwa sababu sisi wa Kenya, mwenzako anaibiwa hapa tunanyamaza, ati huyo anaibiwa sio kabila langu. Wezi hawajui hiyo, watarudi tu kwako. Sasa ndio nasema hii mambo ya uonevu, mkoloni hajui kama huyo sio kabila lako. Next time watakujia tu. So nawaambia wa Kenya, sisi wa Kenya lazima tuache mambo ya ukabila. Ukabila ndio chanzo ya hizi takataka yote. Watu hawafuati sheria, kwa sababu ikifika ni yao, ni kabila yao, hawafuati sheria. Hata siposhikwa ni sawa, ni kabila yao. Hii ni jambo la ndio maana nilisema siku ile kwamba tuokoke, wa Kenya tuokoke, tujitoe katika ukabila, ndio tutoke kwa ukoloni, kwa sababu hii ukoloni itatushinda kufanya chochote. Ukiangalia hata vile pesa zile zinaibiwa, zile vitu tunafanyiwa, alafu tunakosa dawa hospitali, mtoto mgonjwa hawezi shule, mtoto hawezi kwenda, hatuwezi kuwa na chakula, ni kwa sababu sisi tuko chini ya wakoloni. Na tukikaa chini ya wakoloni tunajidanganya eti tumesoma. Hata wakati ule tulikuwa chini kabisa, chini ya Uingereza, wakati wazungu walikuwa wako Nairobi, ndio governor, tulikuwa bado tumesoma, tulikuwa tuna watu lawyers kina Arguins Code, lakini wale tulikuwa bado tunatawaliwa tu na kimabavu. So hii ni kitu ambacho inatakikana tujue, kwa sababu sisi wa Kenya mnachagua mwizi. Mkisha chagua mwizi, sasa kama hawa wanachagua mwizi, wa Kenya tunachagua mwizi. Raila anatuambia huyu ni mwizi, wacheni huyu. Mnasema hapana, huyu ni mwizi wetu. Sasa mkisha mchagua, Raila akisema haya basi mmeshamchagua, hata mimi basi nitafanya kazi na yeye. Sasa Raila amekuwa mbaya, na ninyi ndio mmemchagua. Mmechagua huyo mtu. Raila akifanya maandamano mnasema anawaharibia biashara. Akiwacha maandamano anasema okay, basi nimeacha maandamano nifanye kazi nao. Sasa Raila amekuwa mbaya. Hii mambo ya double standard mimi sipendi kabisa. Kama unataka kusema Raila amefanya kitu, useme kwa sheria, lakini wacheni mambo ya double standard. Raila amesafa sana, amejaribu sana kuwaka watu hata pamoja, watu hawasikii. Anajaribu kusema tukaeni pamoja, hata anajaribu. Baba yake alimtoa Kenyatta gerezani, walimfanyia nini? Yeye alimkampenia Kibaki kama yuko chini, amevunjika mguu. Watu walifanya nini? Wacheni hiyo mambo ya kuonea Raila. Saa ingine saa hii mlikuwa mnasema ni mzee, mmesema aende Bondo, amesema sasa amewacha hiyo, naye amtaki. Mtaka Raila afanye nini? Sasa zingine sielewi. Ndio mimi sikubaliani naye, lakini sitaki kuzungumza juu yake. Lazima mtu naye lazima tumpatie mtu nani yake, nafasi yake, maana ako na haki yake. Hatuwezi kusema tu lazima afanye vile sisi tunapenda. Akijaribu akiwaambia tufanyeni hivi, mnakataa. Akisema mnichague niwatengenezee nchi, mnakataa. Akisema mmechagua mwizi, wacheni tu protest, mnakataa. Sasa mnataka nini? Wacheni hii. Hawa Gen Z wamejitokeza kuandamana. Nani mwingine? Hao wanapiga maneno hapo. Wameenda kuwasaidia. Hakuna. Hata wakati Raila walikuwa na nani? Ni wachache tu ndio walikuwa wanaenda huko. Na Raila mwenyewe mara ngapi amejaribu kuuawa? Hizo tia gas, hata macho yake sina iko imeumia. Macho ya nani imeumia? Macho yake saa zote anapangusa machozi. Na ya nani? Wacheni hii mambo ya saa yote kumwonea.
Let's do this. Tamatisha tumalize tafadhali.
Mimi kwa hii mambo ya Ruto mimi sikubaliani naye, lakini sitaki saa zote watu kumkashifu ni kama amefanya ni kama ameua mtu. The guy amejaribu all he can. Mmekataa. So what can he do? Wakati alikuwa kwa serikali ile ya muungano, serikali kila mtu anajua hiyo serikali ilifanya kazi vizuri kwa sababu kulikuwa na watu ambao walikuwa na heshima na imani na walikuwa wanafanya kazi, lakini watu hawaoni hiyo. So hii mambo ya Wanjigi, kusema Wanjigi anashikwa na amejipeleka pale kusema kama na koti imekataa, ni kusema tunatawaliwa na wakoloni, ni watu ambao hawaheshimu sheria. Sasa huyo polisi haheshimu sheria. Kama polisi haheshimu sheria, nani sasa ataheshimu sheria? Sisi wa Kenya tunatakiwa tukatae hii mambo ya kutawaliwa na ukoloni, kwa sababu kama sisi wa Kenya kweli hatutaki hayo mambo, hayawezi yakatendeka, lakini tunayakubali. Mtu anashikwa tu kwa ovyo ovyo na tunanyamaza tu, au mtu anauawa ovyo ovyo tu na tunanyamaza tu, kwa sababu si kabila letu. Pole Bernard, asante sana. Ni lazima wa Kenya tuokoke.
Okay. Thank you.
Bwana naomba tu nikosoe ndugu yangu mkubwa Jakidube. Ni kweli bila amesema, lakini
Bwana David please, tukifungua debate tena itabidi mimi nikae hapa na hiyo itasumbua.
Na kesho waamuki Sunday imepita brother. Hii kitu tunataka kumkosoa ni hivi. Ona walio wengi bila amesema tulimchagua, lakini walio wengi nilikuwa namkosoa, walio wengi hawakumchagua. Ilikuwa ni kabal fulani ikasukumwa, hata yeye mwenyewe aliona. So hiyo ndio nilikuwa nataka kumkosoa. Wakenya walio wengi, kwa nini wangeni wako mpaka kwao baki yake unaona kwenye kunaenda. Unaona watu waliporwa. Kama aliingia pale kwa njia ya nini, angekuja sasa alikuwa ndio kuja kufagia. Na kuna kitu wewe mwenyewe pia uliongea ukasahau na labda ulisahau. Lazima mwanadamu lazima umrudie kitu mara na mara na mara. Hata uweze kusomesha watu subject na uache tu, hata yako ya kanisa. Warudie waambie huyu mtu bila alikuja ni nini, alikuja na revenge. Unaona ma dynasty. Raila kuna wakati watu wanasahau walisema nini? Alisema okay, wamechukua kutoka kwa mlango lakini imekwama kwa koo. Hawezi watakuja kunitafuta mimi kuongoza hii. Hadi kashinda baba ni nini? Baba ni nini? Then all of a sudden wamekuja kumdilia because huyu jamaa anakaa na msaada wale wa msaada wamemnini. Na wewe nafikiria yeye anakuwa nafikiri baba anakona vijana. No. Watoto wameamka, naweta watoto vijana wameamka, wanaangalia, wana scrutinize ni nini. So useme tulimchagua. Hii fault nini, watu wanajilazimisha, wengine ni kama wanawekwa pale kwa lazima. Saa hii nikawaambia the truth. Na I don't know hata nani venye amepotea leo. IT. Nani? Mkenya mkora, Mkenya with love. Mato. Wakenya walivoti aje? Ukweli iko pale. So hiyo choka kwa roho yao na imekuwa over and over. Ndio unaona sasa hivi wana explode na shida ni nani? Sasa hivi unaona mwakibiza Jimmy Wanjigi muzipatia mileage. Nikiwaambia huyu ni mtu tofauti. Tutakuja kuongea story yake baadaye tukijua shida yake. mtu tofauti, tafadhali msikuwe tu sensational. Ukiona hii imefanyika hakuna. Mkiprotest kijana amepigwa risasi pale, hawai kupigwa risasi. No. Lakini hawa watu wa Kenya walivoti aje? Hivyo tu mwenye wanamweka hapa kama governor, si unaona vile amewakishiwa moto. Why? Because they know the prevalence of the people was different. Now maji ikizidi unga, then wanatafuta mtu wa kublame. Always. Si unajua hivyo? So guys, please, let's be focused what we want. Mtu anaweza toka, hata baba akiwa pale ni ile isikue ni nini, lakini kwa nataka kuongea lakini itaireserve. Hii ni ukoloni, mzee anaongea ukoloni. Iko tumewekewa ikuwe hivyo. Because Jaramogi
Bwana David.
He was worn down.
Kesho wai mapema tafadhali.
The same way to wear him down until now he cannot run no more. That's what they did. Because they know the truth where it is. Okay? But
sawa.
Acha niwaambie pale, but
thank you.
Ikifika mahali I will spill the beans. Jo mjue ukweli. Kila mtu ajue laini ni gani. Usikaya tu kuabudu mtu mnasema hakuna mtu anaabudu baba. Mnasema si ni yeye peke yake na kuna watu wangapi kwa nyumba kwake? Ni wangapi? Na Wakenya mnaumia ni wangapi? Don't blame the people. Come outside there then useme. Iko hivi sasa ni waongoze basi tuende tufanye hivi. Hata yeye ni wao. Sasa tuende tutoe hii na hii. So guys, let's take each person responsibility. Ukiona ukora inafanyika kama mzee mmoja hapa ni Jakitube ama ni nani? Ama ni mzee wetu hapa. Hii ukiona mtu anafanyiwa dhuluma, usiseme sio mimi, labda it's wrong. My mother told me, it don't matter who did it wrong. It cannot be right. So,
okay.
Please. All right.
That is it, Brother David. Thank you very much, please. David, yeah. Let's end it there, please. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your company. Thank you so much for making the show a success. Thank you for participating. Thank you for the likes on the video as well as your participation into the poll question. Thank you for keeping the comment section busy and, of course, debating maturely and sensibly. Let's stay in the struggle, ensure that this country is delivered once and for all. God bless you. Let's meet in the next program.
Sisi vile sio wote ambao wanataka ugomvi kwa sababu ya ugomvi.
Niwaambia nyinyi ni wajinga mkimpata Ruto. Mkadhani tunawadanganya.
Jeti ya Ruto. Hii maisha ya Ruto ni stress na ni stress.
Mungu wewe umetukosea.
Sasa tumesema siku ya Jumatano. Uko tayari?
Tunaingia vijijini, mijini na hata jijini kukuletea taarifa mchana kutwa. Usiku tunakaa kitako, tunadadavua tukichanganua taarifa na makala muhimu yanayokuhusu wewe na familia yako.
Nasikia watu wanasema baba ametusaliti. Between baba kutusaliti na sisi kusaliti baba, nani amesaliti mwingine?
Inapeangwa, it mostly goes to foreign ministries. So baba is overqualified for that position.
To build this railways for Africa. So now he's thinking about tumemkataa kama baba wetu.
Unaweza kuwa kuna mtoto ulizaa ukapatia nchi ikuwe inamfanya vile inataka.
Uhuru has been working very hard. Ruto akaenda huko na nguvu. Ruto was never invited in the inauguration.
Ungana na Bernard Ngozi kwenye Open Forum Political Show kuanzia saa 4 usiku hadi dakika zake kila siku ya wiki kwenye Sound Candid Talk.
Open Forum Political Discussion Show. The show that gives you an opportunity to air what you feel and think about the latest development.
Tukutane Sound Candid Talk.